waste some time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. I notice something is wrong. The light in front of me, the lighting department did not turn it on. Oh my God. What good help is so hard to find. Oh, anyway, it's Wednesday. Oh, let there be light. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. We're going to have a fun filled discussion. We're going to have a good time. And we got a lot to talk about. Wednesday 13 is going to join me. We've got a lot, as I said, to go over. I'm leaving on 2 cruises, not 1, but 2. I'll be spending the next, oh God, 8 plus 5. Yeah, 8 plus 5. 70. I'll be spending 12 days at sea. That's insane. That makes me a superhero. It makes me a seaman, if you will. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Wednesday's new album that is just around the corner. All that and more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody out there to waste time with you. All right, here we are again on Wednesday, and I'm so glad you can join me. We did a show on Monday where I talked about my career in the entertainment business long before any of you knew me or this show. When I was working for Geraldo Rivera, a lot of people found it interesting. I just remembered I got these really cool gifts and I wanted to show them. So the best way for me to gather that up is to introduce the one and only Wednesday 13. Wednesday, how are you?
I'm awesome. It is Wednesday as hell, as I
Uh,
like to say. I started bringing up that phrase a while back. I go, man, it is, whatever day it is, man, it is, if someone is like my granddaughter, she turned 8, and I went, man, my granddaughter, she is 8 as hell. So it's just it's a new way to explain stuff. If you're a hillbilly like myself.
Wednesday, today I Googled you for some reason. I'm not sure what it was. But
Mm-hmm.
boy, they just lay out your whole family story on the Google.
They do, right?
Yeah.
They do.
And, we all know you were married, but your wife says terrible things about you on the internet. That's awful.
She said, "Is it just old stuff?" I'm assuming she doesn't talk about me still, but
No.
oh
Old.
yeah, oh yeah, she's the one that exposed the famous mugshot.
I think that contributes to kind of your brand. I think that's a good thing.
I think so too. We're going to get that shirt either way, but that's
You have to.
later on down the road. That'll be an exclusive mugshot Monday on Wednesday on Mugshot
Mhm.
Monday. We'll just cross it up.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a cool thing. I think it's a necessary thing. Fans want to get their hands on it. Before we get too far, I want to talk about the new Wednesday 13 T-shirt. And I'm not trying to make a hard sell here, but I do think this is something cool. And
It
I want
is. It is
to
cool.
talk. Yeah, these are brand new. By the way, I spent some time with the president of 13 Clothing.
Yeah, my buddy Kevin, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
He
he was.
said you treated him well. Thank you very much. He tried to message you, but I told him you were traveling. He's like, good. I hope that guy doesn't hate me. I was like, he doesn't.
No,
I said,
listen.
no. I said he's just traveling. So
He put up with our nonsense. We went to the Surf Ballroom, which is where the music died. One time, my band, Sin City Rejects, was playing, and it happened to be the day of the plane crash, which is February 3rd.
mhm.
And we said, I'm going to advertise this as the day the music died, and we make sure it stays dead. And I thought for a punk band, that's not really a big deal. But boy, were people upset. I mean, it was 1959. Get over it, right?
Right.
Anyway, but so me and Bloss wanted to go see the crash site, but we went to see it in the middle of the night, and it's very dark out, and it was snowy and icy. much like it
Mhm.
was the day of the crash. And so Kevin was a good sport and went with us. I don't think he knew what to expect from our shenanigans, but again, he
Right.
was a good sport. And he did find one of Gloss Elias's gloves in his car that he can now sell online if he
Like
chooses.
OJ, like the OJ glove.
Yeah, very true. I don't know if he tried it on. Um,
Uh,
let's take a look at these shirts first. That's what I want to do. Hold
yeah.
on before I forget. And then I want to show these lovely gifts that I got. Uh, okay. This is the brand new Wednesday 13 Ghouls, Ghouls,
Can
Ghouls.
you tell who we were inspired by there? I don't like to say rip off. I like to say inspired.
Now, the
Uh,
band that inspired this are known for being inspired by others. So,
exactly. It's just this inspiration just keeps on. It's just like it just keeps overflowing into this big vat of inspiration.
yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Now,
Yeah.
this here, so that's the Ghouls, Ghouls, Ghouls. This is When the Devil Commands. And When the Devil
Hmm.
Commands is your new single, which is available everywhere. And we need to
Yes.
get it to 100,000 views on the YouTube right now.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching it. They've been doing. This is my most viewed video that I've had. That's this quick. I mean, so
Mhm.
this is good for me. Some bands do 100,000 out the gate, but we're at 80, almost 83, 84,000 right now. So anybody listening that's seen it, go watch it again. It counts as another view. Get us to 100,000 to the by the end of the month. By the time the next single comes out, is that's my goal. I have like little goals I set in my head, and that's one.
Wednesday, I got to go find this gift that someone sent me. And I know you're very modest when it comes to
Yes.
promoting yourself, but
I
right
am.
now is your chance. Give the audience,
Uh,
let them know what they need to know, and I'll be.
all right. Well, this is the new album. I have my advanced copy. It's called Mid Death Crisis, and the new first single came out last Tuesday, When the Devil Commands. And you can watch it on YouTube. You can stream it on any streaming service: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Go do that. Those numbers count in the world of business rock. So when people go look up my stuff, they go, "Hey, how many views has this guy had? Oh, he's had that many. He must suck." So give me some more views. Go watch my video and watch 30 seconds of it. I heard it counts as one view. Did you know that?
Sort of, but if, as far as the algorithm goes, it's better if they watch the whole video, enjoy it, because then it'll
Well, this
recommend it
video
to
is
more
good enough to watch. It's got a lot of sexy women in it, and I'm not talking about me.
Firefighter Wednesday. Yeah,
Firefighter
no,
Wednesday.
you got to check it out. And Wednesday's going on tour. It's going to be interesting because we're both going to be traveling quite a bit. I leave on March 1st. I return on March 15th. On March 14th, the tour begins in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the tour is called Life's a Grave, Dig It, right?
No, it's called "There's No Such Thing as Monsters."
Was
That's
that
my
an old
slogan.
tour?
That "Life's a Grave, Dig It" is a T-shirt design that we have, but that's my catchphrase that I took from. I was inspired by Joe Dirt.
Mm,
You know,
naturally. All right.
he
So
said, yeah, me and my daughter, when I was, she was like 3 or 4, she was sitting on my lap and we were watching, she loved Joe Dirt. And I heard him say, "Life's a garden, dig it." And me, my little brain goes, "Oh, life's a grave, dig it. Midlife crisis, mid-death crisis." It's just one of those things I do. So there you go.
first super chat of the day, I have to thank. This is Rodney Cross. And Rodney Cross says, hello, Jason, Wednesday 13 and fellow Waste and Timers. Thank you for kicking off the super chats of the night. Makes it able to do this. So let me see who's in the chat first. We should say hello to some people, and then I'll show off these impressive gifts that I was given.
Rodney
Clint,
Cross sounds like a Dio song. You're the Rodney Cross. Like it, I can Dio everybody's name if they throw in $13 or watch my video.
I agree. Clint, it makes sense. Clint says, let's get me to 100,000. I can't understand why my numbers are not that close. We put out the most entertaining show possible.
Mhm.
We all of this and no cover charge. And yes, let's get to 100,000, and then I'll get one of those push play awards.
I didn't
They give,
find it frustrating until I started paying attention to those analytics that you taught me about. So this is your fault.
yeah, I
Now I know.
apologize.
Now I'm like, holy shit! Let's see how many views I got. Ah, let's see this. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy how many views my Instagram gets. I get about 25 to 30,000 views a day on my Instagram. Just with
It's
the
insane.
I've learned how to post pictures now, and I know what generates. I didn't know that until looking at it.
David says, "Should I order a pizza?" Of course. Now Wednesday would like his with no sauce, but
Right, more like cheese. Let's say cheesy bread. That doesn't sounds less weird. When you go to the cheesy bread, that's what I like. I like that better than what you say your regular pizza.
mhm.
But who's to say what's regular pizza? Who's to say that? I mean, who makes those rules?
This is a Wednesday.
Elon?
You mean the first lady? This is Wednesday.
Whatever.
I
First
get in a
boy.
lot of trouble with the politics. This is Wednesday 13 official. Is this really an official Wednesday? Is this you?
This is my YouTube that I have access to. The other Wednesday 13 page, I can't get access to. I've been fighting with YouTube for over a month and a half. They won't let me back in because I can't get into it. So it's a situation. I'm trying to have the label help me, but all of my music is set up through there. I believe this channel existed before that channel, and I crossed it over. So it's a big mucky muck, as they would say.
Yes, I agree. Now, Wednesday, I'm going to do a thing that they do in the entertainment industry, the broadcasting business. I'm going to lay
Mhm.
out my intentions. We're going to talk a little bit about the new record. We're going to talk
Mhm.
about the new music video, which does
Yeah.
feature Tame Me Down, a Faster Pussycat. We're going to talk about that. And that's public information. Yeah, you're representing.
This
And we're
came
going to talk
straight from the
about,
man. He gave this to me Monday. He put this in my hand
do you know
Monday.
that cat's name?
There's a name for the cat. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Should be. I'm sure there is. What is it?
The cat
Slick?
was created by a guy named Mick something. He's the same guy who created the Dr. Feelgood Alistair Fiend character.
No way. I did not know that.
Yeah, and that cat, his name is Scratch. That's Scratch the cat.
I did not know that. Okay. Okay. I'm surprised I didn't know that. I should know that. I knew
The
Alistair
more you
Fiend.
know.
I knew that name.
hmm I have a very cool piece of Faster Pussycat memorabilia in my possession that nobody knows about. I'm going to tell the story right now. But I got to tease. Also coming up in the show, I'm going to talk about the lineups of the two cruises. I'm going to get your reactions to some of the bands,
Mhm.
and we'll do that. But Faster Pussycat. Uh, Brent Muscat and I worked together for a lot of years on a band called Sin City Sinners, and we were friends for a bunch of years. And I even worked on a book with him, which is why I know so much about the history of Faster Pussycat. So at one point, Faster Pussycat's original backdrop was on eBay, and it was the backdrop of Scratch the Cat, that famous picture that you're wearing right now. But it was painted, hand painted on a canvas. This is a long time ago. This backdrop could fit an arena stage, and I didn't ask questions. I bought it. Now, Brent Muscat, he said, "Hey, can I go in on it with you without putting any money in on it, so that I could own a piece of it too?" He was what they call, what the birds call cheap, and I laid out the money. And you know what? I got a good deal on it. I'm going to be honest. I got a good deal on it. Around that same time, I bought Eric Stacy's gold record from a pawn shop on eBay where Eric had a drug problem. He sold his gold record and I bought it. Now, many years later, Eric asked me, could I buy it back from you? I'm clean and I would love to have my original gold record. And I sold it to him for a nominal. No, I sold it to him for what I paid for it. It belongs to him. He deserves to have his own gold record. And I presented it to him. I have a picture of me presenting him with his own gold record. The lesson here is don't do drugs, kids. And hopefully he still has it. But so the backdrop is in my possession. I have it. Now I asked Hamey, he said most likely a lighting guy, a crew guy sold it. And he says they didn't really have the rights to sell the damn thing. For a minute, Brent Muscat did his own version of Faster Pussycat that featured him, Eric Stacy, and Brett Bradshaw. May he rest in peace. And we did a show at the Galaxy Theater, and we actually hung the original backdrop one time. and then it went back into my closet. Over the years, I've thought about selling it. There's nowhere you can display it. I mean, I'm talking, you know what I mean? It's a thing for an
Oh
arena.
yeah, I've got a murder dolls one in my garage that's arena size banner. This one from the one and only one we had from our last tour is and I have that as well.
Yeah, and there's no way unless you hung it from the side of your house, and even then,
Yeah,
probably too big.
yeah.
Um,
I need to lay that thing out. Just when you brought that up, I went, holy shit! I've got that banner in my garage. Crazy.
you should lay it out in your yard and take a picture of it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's huge. It's the last logo we had, and when we opened for Guns N' Roses and uh, the Zombie Alice Cooper tour, all that. It's a giant arena backdrop. So
Big stuff. Sin City Jason says mugshots are my favorite, and
my mugshot's crazy. I got like dreadlocks in it, so like, and I had a ball cap on when I flipped my car because I when I got my DUI, I flipped my car like 5 times. I broke my collarbone. So in the photo, I'm in a sling like this. You can see like a little strap over, but you can't see my shirt. And the shirt I'm wearing says "Drink alcohol" and the Coca-Cola logo. So
mhm.
I was busted pretty much instantly when they went, "You've been drinking?" I'm like, "Who, me?" So,
Mhm.
but anyway, but my hair has this like little lump. It looks ridiculous, and I've got eyeliner on. It's like all smeared, like the way it looks when I get off the show. I got the goop. Um, Yeah, so I guess
Yeah,
that's
we've
one good thing
shown
I can say is I have eyeliner on. If you wanted to be rock and roll about it,
we've shown it here before. We
it's
unleashed it.
ridiculous. You know, it sucks, man, because like I love my mom. I told you my mom passed away about almost 5 years ago, and you know you don't ever want to hurt your mom. You know, you never want to hurt your mom's feelings or ever. That's the one thing you do. You want to hurt your mom, you want to fucking kill them. So when me and my wife got divorced, I hid my DUI arrest from my mom for a couple of years. She had no idea that it happened. I even had I told you I had like the little machine in my car you had to blow before you drove, and I hid it inside a giant 7-Eleven Slurpee cup. So every time I pulled up at the house, she thought I was just drinking to start the car. Uh, but soon as I left my ex-wife, she went to my mom's house and showed her the mugshot and gave her my arrest record. And she called me up, and she sounded just like Thelma Evans when the damn the
Mhm.
mom, and it was just like weird science. Mom, I didn't really no, I never tossed off. It was insane. So that's how she got me my that was oh man. Sorry, mom.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I listen. I get it. Um, but listen, now you're a sober guy, and I think people know you're admitted to your mistakes. You knew
Yeah.
not to live
Yeah,
like
that
that.
was crazy, man. I went to jail and I broke my collarbone, so I didn't get thrown into like, you know, general population. I got put in a little cell by myself. They were watching me and everything because I was all messed up.
Mark
I was
Sanchez.
partying since 9 a.m. and I went to jail about 4 in the morning, and I've been partying since 9 a.m.
Well, that'll do it. Mark Sanchez is here. He commissioned a painting of me, which I found to be interesting, and it could go in a lot of directions. I wasn't going to talk about the painting. I was going to unveil it, and then if it was terrible, let the audience decide. But I did see a glimpse of it yesterday, and you know what? It's a damn good painting, and I look forward to displaying it behind me soon. MB1 bumper. I just found out Simon Wright was in UFO and having him sign my Detroit Rock City poster and having Piercy sign my Weird Science poster. I'm so confused. Thanks for booking him. Plus, I get a picture with Jason and Wednesday. What is there a rat song in Weird Science?
Is what is he talking? Is this person talking about the Hollywood show? Is that drummer going to be there?
The Hollywood show. I booked Simon Wright of UFO a UFO. He's of AC/DC and Dio. Maybe he
Isn't
was
he
in
the
UFO.
murderer? Is he the murderer?
No, that's Phil Rudd. He came
Oh,
in when Phil Rudd
no.
was not around.
Got you.
He
Sorry.
Simon Wright is on Blow Up Your Video and Who Made Who, Maximum Overdrive soundtrack.
North Carolina was filmed
Mhm.
there. Mm-hmm.
He had a song, AC/DC song called "Shake Your Foundations." I actually liked that one. Some people did not, but I liked it. Anyway, come to the Hollywood show. You're going to meet Stephen Piercy, Whit Hertford from the Lay It Down video, Mark Torgel, Melvin, who turns into Toxic Avenger, and more. That's June 7th. Now, I got a lot to get to. If you guys want to get some Wednesday 13 merchandise, Michelle is sharing the link right there. It's in the comment. Go and get it. Okay, boy, I'm behind on the
This
comments.
is the old Arsenio Hall. Man, that was a good time watching that show too. When it was in its prime, I could not fucking wait to watch Arsenio. They had LA
Ryder,
Guns on there. Can you imagine that? That's what Phil Lewis decided to wear on that show when he got on that show. That denim cut off. I remember that going, what? And Tracy Guns looked like he was in Suicidal Tendencies. My mind was just blown. I'm like, this is LA, and this they've kept it steady since then.
to this day, there's not a day where I go, what the hell are they wearing? They dress like carnival barkers, the strong man, and I still don't know what the hell.
You're not Carnival personnel.
I'm I'm going to be on a cruise with them, and I bet you I won't know what they're wearing then either. And I've made amends with them, but I'm always confused. But the great thing about Arsenio Hall was he would have on some of the hair metal bands that we liked, and then he would say things like, "Give it up for the dirty, funky sounds of Trickster." You know, and you go, "What the hell?"
Yeah, when he introduced Kiss, when he had Kiss on there and he was talking to him and he was like, he got all serious about Eric Carr and he's like, so let's talk about somebody you lost real close in the Kiss family. Well, we lost Eric Carr just a couple of moments ago. And it was, so there you go. There's my Paul Stanley and my Arsenio Hall. There you go.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Thank you. I got it sometimes. Sometimes I got it.
I like both of those. Now, Ryder wants to know if you shot your video at the King Gillette. I don't know what that means, but that's the question.
I don't know what that is.
Ryder is 9 years of age. I don't think he's done.
He's talking about this video was shot at a place called the Cosmic Church. You can look it up on Instagram. It's called Cosmic Church LA. And I'm sure that's probably the only Cosmic Church in Los Angeles.
Do you think the
check it out.
People
do videos there every fucking day. And I haven't seen anyone but my video, but that I know of. But their videos constantly in photo shoots and stuff. So
Wednesday, do you condone Ryder watching your video that features semi-clad to naked women dancing in front of you in a confessional?
I think it's acceptable. I don't think it's it's not anything that bad, but parents discretion there. Check it out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm with you there.
The next video is full on there's a lady in it, but it's not a
she doesn't show her butthole though.
She does not. This is more of a. I told you this is the Plan 9 from outer space. This Plan 13 from outer space. We'll call it.
Yes, I like that one. Mistress Macabre enjoyed the show on Monday. Oh, here's Sean Brown. Sean is great. Hello, Jason, and Wednesday 13. I'm always trying to prove my bass playing technique and difficult songs. Unfortunately, I only know how to read tabs. That shouldn't be unfortunate. That's not a bad thing. At 37, how difficult do you think it will be to learn how to read music, and any suggestions? Now, this is a good question.
I brought out a bass just in case we need to answer the question.
Some of my favorite bass playing on Wednesday's albums. Wednesday played it.
What does haunt me? Oh, this is in standard tuning, so I can't play. All my songs are in drop C. My bass player tuned this in standard, so I only know how to do like standard stuff, which is I don't know what to do. But
Sean, I don't think that reading music is unless it's something that you really want. I don't think it's a necessity. It's very rare, depending on the kind of music you want to play, that somebody is going to give you a chart to read music, especially with the bass. My
Never,
advice, Wednesday, I'm taking a step
ever,
further. Yeah.
never.
My theory and feeling about learning how to play the bass, the best thing you could do is learn all the notes on the neck. So learn every key that a song is in. Because if you jam with somebody, they're going to go, Chinese rocks. What key is it in? Well, it's in F. Little things like that will make playing much easier. Nothing wrong with reading tabs. Some of the best musicians out there don't know how to read music. And have a natural gift. So I think don't waste your time doing that. Make sure you know.
I don't know anybody that reads music at all.
I,
I think my drummer reads drum scales, or he knows how to read that. But the only musician that I knew that could actually read music was Todd Youth,
mhm.
and that's how he got into Glenn Campbell's band, because he just read charts. He could just literally. He's one of those guys. He was literally Todd Youth was the rock and roll like Roy Clark, so to speak. I mean, what a crazy guitar player guy. Another crazy musician that I knew that passed away.
Passed too soon. Yeah. Uh, there's other ways to play music. You know, I wanted to jump into playing music in Vegas because I manage bands, and sometimes they would say, "Well, you don't even play." So I said, "Well, I'll do that too then, just to prove that I could." And sometimes you'd have to play 2 to 3 hours of cover songs to be a Vegas guy. And I would learn songs that had 2 notes, 3 notes for the whole song. What I Got by the Sublime, 2 notes. I'll Stop the World and Melt with You. All these type of songs. Jesse's Girl. I could
Who
play them
who
all
who
in my
is your
sleep.
favorite? Who is your favorite bass player? And I don't mean like bass player that you play like, because if I pick someone like, who's your favorite guitar player? I go, we always do the Johnny Thunders, because Johnny Thunders is the sloppiest known guitar player. He's like the Ed Wood of guitar. It's just but like, who's your favorite bass player? Like, who is
It's
a
a good
good
question.
who's a
Yeah,
good bass player to you that doesn't get credit for being a bass player? I think Gene Simmons is a killer bass player, doesn't get the credit he deserves.
definitely. Gene Simmons' look and the character outweighs it. But in the early songs, I had to learn some of those songs. In the beginning, Gene wanted to be Paul McCartney. He played all these walking bass
So
lines.
good.
He moved all over the neck. In later years, Gene dumbed it down a little bit. The songs were more important, I think, to Gene than the actual playing. But no, he's a great bass player, and his parts are really good. And I think people forget that he's a bass player because they're so used to him being the demon. Um,
Hmm.
but
No,
there's
he's really good.
obviously the reason I bought a bass was Dee Ramone.
Hmm.
While he just played root notes and basic, stuff, it's still just his parts were great and his attitude was great. His songwriting was great. But that's what got me into it. But when I have a bass playlist that I listen to when I'm on planes, and it's
Hmm.
all these sort of I'm trying to think of the word other than black, but
Right.
James Jamerson, Larry Graham. I mean, some of these guys, the bass playing is so incredible when you listen to it. You listen to these songs. I could never play like that. I probably wouldn't want to play like that. But boy, is it great to listen to. And then there's guys like John Taylor from Duran Duran, who's like outstanding bass player, and I'm not sure everyone knows that. Simon Gallup in The Cure is an incredible bass player.
Mhm.
When you could
Like
sing,
bass lines, probably the best bass lines of just consistent lead bass lines.
lead
Is what I
right,
would say.
lead bass. You can
Yeah,
sing them. They're parts of the song.
they're
They're
they're they're
not just
amazing.
that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway, but I love
So,
talking about.
somebody mentioned in here Dennis Dunaway. That was going to be he is my favorite bass player. Dennis Dunaway, Alice Cooper's original band. That's my favorite bass player to listen to, because those old records, man, I don't know. There's some magic on there.
It's
Um,
incredible his choice of parts. We were in the van the other day, and Dennis Dunaway came up. I was the first one to mention his name. They were saying
mhm.
Alice Cooper. Steven said it. One of my favorite bass players was Alice Cooper. I said Dennis Dunaway, and
Yeah.
listen to even the big hits like 18. There's bass parts in between parts that are crazy.
It's
I mean,
it's crazy. He is so underrated, and just he's the core of that old Alice Cooper records. When he wasn't in
I
the
think
band,
so.
you could tell. I mean, not that I mean, I still like Alice regardless, but like you can just tell it was a different sound, and no one plays like that. It's crazy.
AZ says, did you ever cross paths with Rick Rubin in New York days? Rubin could have saved Detonator. I have a pretty good Rick Rubin story. I worked in the adult industry for a minute. You know, I was partners in a company of classic movies, movies that were made in the early 80s. And Vincent Gallo came to my booth. And I was so starstruck by Vincent Gallo, Buffalo 66, the Brown Bunny. I think the guy's one of the most original, interesting characters ever. And he had this bearded lunatic with him. And we were talking about the movies of Tracy Lords, that you can't release those movies anymore. You have to edit her scenes out. For those who don't know, Tracy Lords was underage when she made her movies. There was a big recall, and those movies had to be destroyed. Interestingly enough, I spoke about this in a Netflix special that they made. It hasn't come out yet. I was told don't talk about it, but it's been years. If it comes out, who cares? It was from the makers of The Lion King or the Tiger. Tiger.
The makers of the 40-year-old virgin and the Tiger King.
Yes, they teamed up. So I'm telling Vincent Gallo about how these Tracy Lords movies work, and then this lunatic with the beard tells me, just put it out anyway, or put out the scenes where she has her clothes on at least, so the movie makes sense. And I said, you can't even portray a minor in the movie whether she has her clothes on or not. And that lunatic was Rick Rubin. And it took me a second to realize it was him. And once I realized it, I said, well, can I put on the box, Rick Rubin says it's okay? And he sort of chuckled. Other than that, I didn't really have much much to do with him. I hope that story
I went
was
to
interesting.
I went to the Houdini mansion.
Was he there?
Doesn't he own that still, or
Maybe.
I think he owns it. He was when Slipknot was recording their record there. I went and got a tour of the place, which is pretty cool. I think that's where a bunch of records were recorded there. Red Hot Chili Peppers and all that. But yeah, I went there. I forget sometimes that I went there, but that's the old Houdini mansion.
It's pretty cool. There are some cool parts of living in LA. You know, living in LA is so much fun.
I know.
Well, boy, you was ugly and your girlfriend wasted time.
I've talked so much about Tame Me Down this week. I started my press schedule this week, and that's about halfway through my interview is tell me about Tame Me Down. So I'm learning how to get my story. At first I started telling it, it's all long and exaggerated. So now it takes me about a couple interviews to learn how to speed it up, you know, when they ring the buzzer, you know. But I've talked about him all week. But it's been cool. It hasn't been like forced or anything. It's been cool, and I got to film the video with him this week as well.
We'll get to that in a second. Being interviewed is an art, and Skylar says I watched Steven on another podcast, and the guy's questions sucked. Well, most podcasters suck, and a lot of people are just fans who everyone thinks they can do it. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. I used to do interviews to promote my band, to promote my studio, and I knew what to do, which was I did a radio show on the Playboy channel. I was being interviewed by Ginger Lynn and Christy Canyon. That's like Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams of butt sex. And yes, for sure.
Thumbs up.
And it's not working today. And I saw that the next guest coming on the show, there, look at that. Whoa.
That's for them.
For the legends. The next guest coming on was Amy Fisher. Amy Fisher was known for shooting her.
She's a face shooter. She the money shot.
Yes. And but anyway, I knew I better start talking quick and get the plugs in. And sometimes your goal is to get the plug in without acting like you're plugging. Yes. And so you have to take a question that's a bad question and then turn it into your own plug. And it's an art form that not everybody knows. So I'll give you an example. Today I saw an interview with Wednesday 13, and it said Wednesday 13 discusses horror movies. Now that's not a bad thing. You are very horror associated. But sometimes you can only answer the Texas Chainsaw Massacre question so many times.
Yes.
So you then have to spin that into, and what's funny is there's a song on my record that was inspired by the text, or whatever, and then you
Yeah.
get back to,
I would go,
uh,
oh, I really love Frankenstein, which is a character that's sort of here in this, and that's how I spin it.
yes, my new
Yeah.
record, Mid-Death Crisis, and that's what you want to
Can,
do.
can you believe
Listen,
I've been asked this week? Someone asked me about three songs and asked me if they were serious. Like they seem very serious. Rotting Away and Decapitation seem very serious. Who are they about? I'm like, they sound serious to you?
mhm.
I was like, okay, well, I was like, they're not about it. Anyway, we'll get to it, but
Let's talk about Tammy Down for a minute.
yes.
Did you see Tammy when he was on Parker Lewis Can't Lose?
No,
Hmm. I think it's
no,
on YouTube.
no,
Yeah.
I just now remembered that show. What the? My brain's so
Mhm. Um,
computing that show right now.
I think Tammy is a great guy. I've been fortunate to know him and to watch him get sober, because there was a time when I really thought Faster Pussycat was becoming a bit of a joke. Danny's falling down. It just, the guitar players were changing every week,
I
and
didn't notice it because I was drunk and falling down with them around the same time, which is how I got
right.
to know them. So I didn't see it the way you see it, but I look back and see us both stumbling and falling drunk now.
Yeah, no, now, right now it really stands out. But um, I heard the song. It's called "No Apologies," and fortunately for the world, I'm also on the track in a
Mhm.
cameo, Michelle as well. But it's a great song, and the more I listen to it, the more I think this might be the big one. This is it. This is the big
It,
one.
you know what? If I'm gonna bat one out on this record, that's the one. And Tammy being on it definitely helps. It's just a cool song. I knew it instantly. It was a catchy song. I told you it was inspired by the Ramones. There's a Ramones song in there that I maybe started humming the melody. But then it turned into Faster Pussycat when I threw in that guitar riff, and that's how Tammy ended up on it. But it was so cool. He came over to the house this week. We filmed. This video is on green screen, so I set a green screen up in my backyard. The whole setup. I got a huge space back here, and he came over to the house. And anyone that's familiar with Tammy on stage, he used to use this crucifix that he had in the Newly Deads that he used to sit on. And most of the time, I wouldn't say sit on. He would be so drunk most of the time he'd prop himself on it and smoke a cigarette and sing. What do you sing? House of Pain on that, I believe.
If I guess, yeah, I'm not sure.
So I remember seeing this crawl. I tried to look for it online. I couldn't find a picture. So I texted him the day before he came over, and I said, I said maybe I'm drunk, or we just did it at your. I don't remember where. I said, but did you used to sit on a crucifix that lit up? And I didn't hear back anything for about 15 minutes, and I saw the little dots coming up, and then there's a picture of this crucifix in his yard with leaves all around it.
It's still there, yeah.
And he goes, yeah, it's been sitting in my yard for about 7 years. And I was
Mhm.
like, can we use it for the video? And he goes, are you sure? And I said, bring it over. And he's like, all right, I'll throw it in the car. So he brought it over and brought the crucifix. So we have him riding on the crucifix which just looks cool. It fits the video. It's perfect. And not that he needed a prop, but I just remember that being a cool thing that he did, and we got to take advantage of it. So it was cool.
Um, yeah, absolutely. Song is great, and one of the interesting things is that Wednesday and excuse me, Tammy and Wednesday have such a similar voice, believe it or not. And that when
Hmm.
I heard the track a few times, and also in the studio, you had to say which one is Wednesday and which one is Tammy.
My
And at
guitar
some
player
point,
didn't know. He didn't know out here. He goes, he, he wanted to be sure. He goes, is that him? I was like,
and
yeah.
at some point you sing together, so it's a blend of both of your
Hmm.
voices. I think it's a great song, and I think that people will like it. I stand by this record. People have been messaging me because now I'm an aficionado on all things Wednesday 13, and they tell me they really enjoy the single, and I tell them, if you like that, do I have a record for you? Because I think that there's even better tracks, and I think that people will be surprised. And the thing I keep saying is, for those of you who want the original Murder Doll sound, that's there. If you want the Wednesday burying and banging dead girls. That's there. But there's also
Hmm.
some pretty cool straight ahead rock songs, and I think people are going to like it. I
So
don't mean to
someone
do the
told me today that that Zen Ecstasy song. They said this is the greatest Alice Cooper song that he never wrote. Is what
That's
someone
true.
told me this week. I went, okay, it's a good
That's one of
song.
my favorite.
Well, it's one of my favorite. That's why I re-recorded it.
It. I think I'm trying to get through these questions. I don't want. Uh,
I gave Tammy his copy of the record, and he wrote me the next day. He's like, "Dude, this looks so fucking cool," and it does, man. This is the label knocked it out of the park. I can't wait to get the vinyl of this because it's gonna look even cooler.
you know, it's
There's
interesting, but I'm going to be spending a lot of time
no
with Tammy.
apologies. There's the lyrics right
Oh,
there.
nice! Look at that exclusive lyric peek.
Yeah.
You could
So
freeze frame that, and then everyone could sing it before it comes out. Cover the wrong side.
I was like, I forgot I painted my nails for the video this week because I do a lot of
No,
singing with my hands, like the rap part. Like the parts that Tammy and I did was on green screen, so we don't have microphones. So we're literally, I was like, let's. I kept saying, let's Lethal Weapon it. I said, let's Danny Glover and Mel Gibson this. So we got a lot of parts we're back to back doing this, and we're like this and singing. So we really gave it to them. We sucked it to them.
I liked it. I saw the footage that you sent me, and I think it's great. I'm going to be spending the next 12 days at sea with Tammy Down. We're going to be seamen, him and
I
I.
heard. I heard you guys were going to become seamen very soon.
Mhm. Yeah, and look, I'm looking forward to it. And if I had to be stuck on a boat with somebody, Tammy isn't such a bad guy to be stuck with. I'll talk about those cruises in a minute. I want to get through some of these. A lot of people saying they did enjoy Shake Your Foundations. I know I brought that up 2 hours ago. Question: Is Wednesday still friends with Eric Griffin? Eric Griffin was in the Murder Dolls. I think he was a bass player.
He was the bassist. He's the original bassist in Murder Dolls on the first album, and he was also in Wednesday 13 from 2006 to 2007. He came in as the live guitarist for my Fang Bang album, and we toured all over the world. It was good till it wasn't, and we've kept in touch. That little Murder Doll fiasco that AC calls there for a bit, kind of put a wall between us. But it's just I haven't seen him, and then you've talked to him, and I think he has. I think you said someone said I think Wednesday hates me. I said I don't hate you at all. This wasn't even it had nothing to do with Eric whatsoever. So I still have the same feelings I always had about Eric. Eric's fine with me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A lot of people don't know he was a way better guitar player than he was a bassist. He's a really really good guitarist, and it's crazy that he was the bassist in Murder. It's the same way when I got offered the Murder Dolls gig before it was Murder Dolls. I was the bassist. I'm like, hello,
Right.
I'm not so good at this. Let me try screaming into this microphone.
I will be seeing Eric Griffin as well.
Tell,
Uh,
tell him I
Eric,
said hello and I don't hate him.
yes, I will. Eric Griffin. I talked about having Eric on the show at some point. He's on the road touring as well. He tours with naturally the heavy metal band Night Ranger. Um, but no, Eric is a talented monitor person, and Night Ranger aren't the easiest guys, and they're all on in ears. And it seems like he does a really good job with them. And I'll be seeing him in the Bahamas. Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring that up, by the way, Wednesday. If first, I'm going on the '80s cruise, and I want to show you this lineup. Now, some of this shit I forgot all about, but I'm really going because I want to give the world content
That's
as a
some
gift.
good stuff. All right, you got I know
Can
Adam
you
Ant.
read?
I know all these bands. You'd have to tell me what songs are there are by them.
Squeeze has a song called "Pulling Muscles from a Shell."
I
That
don't
you would
get
know
it.
it if you heard it. They have another big hit too. People in the comments could probably jump in. I'll have to skip some of these comments and catch up to this conversation. Um, but Adamant, we know Goody Two Shoes is the hit.
I know Adam
Well,
Ant. I'm aware of Adam Ant. That's where Stephen
he's
Piercy got sort of influenced by his look, right? That's it. The
totally.
Yep. And Christopher
100%.
Cross, he's the guy that everyone thought was those two little kids that wore their clothes backwards, but he's not.
Yes, no. Christopher Cross is the ultimate cruise guy. Oh,
Yeah.
Tempted, Squeeze, Tempted. Remember that one, Tempted by the Fate of Another?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it. Thank you.
You know, whenever the one little guy from Crisscross died, Mac Daddy or Daddy Mac, I'm not sure which one, passed
Mhm.
away back in my drinking days, I got real serious and I made, before we would go on stage, we played half of the song from Crisscross. I would like, I wouldn't go on stage, you know, like until they played it. Like I was refusing. Like that was like it's a moment I had. So
The Mac Daddy and the Daddy Mac.
for you.
But no, Christopher Cross, most people know him for his song Sailing, which is the most perfect song to hear
Sailing.
Sweeps Me Away.
That's a good song, man. I suddenly want to go sailing.
He has a better song, and that song is from a movie called Arthur.
Oh
And the song,
yeah, that's a good.
Arthur's
He's a great drinker.
Arthur's the best.
He's the
Uh,
best. He was one of my heroes back in my drinking days.
Arthur's theme was sang by Christopher Cross. If you get caught between the moon and New York City,
That's a
and
good, yeah. When
a
you get
great.
caught between the moon and see, I've been doing this voice all day to annoy Lady 13. Today
Mhm.
I was singing Cheryl Crow's "I Want to Soak Up the Sun," but I was trying to sing it in keys that are awful, like "I want to soak up the sun." And I just kept doing it, and she's yeah,
I get it.
I'm fun to live with.
I try to be as obnoxious around the house.
I used to do it to my mom the same way, so now she gets it now that so
I was I was probably the same. A Ride Like the Wind. How could I forget? Another banger, as the kids say. And then Arthur. Um, Sheila E. Sheila E.
hmm
lives the glamorous life, right?
yes, yep,
And
yep.
she was in the movie Purple Rain.
I'm not a I'm gonna get struck down here. I am not. I miss the Prince train.
Mhm.
I tried to get into Prince around Bat Dance, and well, maybe that wasn't the time to get into Prince. When I saw him on
I
that picture of him on this on the roller skates when he's got
Mhm.
the little Batman net shirt on, and he's like that. I was like, I don't know,
I
I don't know.
appreciate Prince. Bat Like for Bat Dance for me was not the one. Uh,
That dance was not the one for me. Although I like a lot of songs. I just missed the Prince train. You know, I
yeah.
missed. I didn't get into it. Same thing for Led Zeppelin. I sort of missed the Led Zeppelin train. Sorry,
Well,
sorry,
I'm with
sorry. I'm young.
I'm with you there. My parents loved Led Zeppelin, and therefore I didn't want to like it. I
Yeah,
rebelled. Uh,
yeah.
I told my parents
Sounds like old rock.
Led Zeppelin steals from the black man. I told them, and Willie Dixon. If you
Mhm.
Google Willie Dixon, anyway, Men at Work. It should be called Man at Work because there's only one person left in the band, Colin
I like
Hay.
men at work. They come from the land, or he comes from the land down under.
He's got a lazy eye.
He does.
Got an eye that goes this
Won't get
way.
a job. Won't do anything. Lazy.
Absolutely. One eye goes this way, one eye goes that way. The eyes have it.
Mhm.
They've got some good songs though.
They
Land Down
do.
Under. Who could it be now?
Uh,
And
yeah, I didn't realize they kind of were like the Australia police.
mhm, yeah, no, absolutely. And Be Good Johnny. Remember that one?
Maybe.
It goes Be Good, Be Good, Be Good, Be Good, Be Good, Johnny. You would know it if you heard it.
I don't
Um,
know. That doesn't ring
all
a
right.
bell.
Andy Bell of Erasure. Oh, Overkill. That's a big, not the thrash metal
What?
band.
Overkill? You mean elimination? Elimination. That's another song to sing around the house and drive someone crazy. Just do it
Mhm.
all fucking day.
Um, yeah, Overkill was a big Men at Work song. Not Bobby the Blitz Elvson. Andy Bell of Erasure. I always forget what Erasure's hit is. Someone can remind me. I looked all this shit up.
I feel
Uh,
like I didn't I call you or didn't I send you pictures from Erasure? Didn't I go to that country? I think I was there. I think I had a weird hotel.
Somebody is saying we like all these bands, but we don't like Tears for Fears. I think the thing is we didn't want to go see Tears for
I
Fears.
like Tears for Fears. I was just
I do
asking
too.
Sean like how it just somehow became into a ball busting event about Tears for
Mhm.
Fears. I have no problem with them at all. Actually, I watched the video after we talked about it, and they were really good. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was good.
man,
It was
they
good.
were good. Damn it,
Uh,
Sean, for being right.
yes, Sean would have been here today. He said he has a lot on his plate. Uh, he said text him, but I didn't want to bother him. I figured he's got things going on.
Gotcha.
How's the cherry pie on the cruise ship? Well, it's going to be fantastic because Warrant will be
That's
there.
Warrant. Warrant.
Hmm. Warrant
Man,
is
I
very good.
love me some old Warrant. There isn't probably one tour, 1 week that goes by that I don't have Warrant blasting before I play on stage. Big Talk will
Mhm.
come on. I'm just like, yes, yes.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Let me fly through these other artists. This is the smaller, also starring, meaning that the first names we read will perform in the theater, and these people will perform in clubs.
All the good people are at the bottom.
That's what I think.
What is happening? That's a horrible advertisement.
You got your Dokken, which should be interesting. You got your
Mhm.
Firehouse, should be interesting. Information Society, they got some big songs.
Oh, now I want to know what
Yeah,
you're feeling. Is there something on your mind? I
it's a big
want to
one.
know.
Now, I'm a big fan of Curtis Blow. Curtis Blow was born in the Bronx, much like myself. He is one of the godfathers of rap music. His song is called "The Breaks." These are the breaks, and
Hmm.
it is definitely a fun song. Definitely a legend. I don't think many of the white folk on the '80s cruise are going to appreciate it, but I will be there with my hands in the air, and perhaps I'll wave them like I just don't care.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's all you can do.
Honeymoon Suite, I love it. That's a great underrated Canadian band. Soon to be our 51st state, I was told. I'm not sure if that's true, but uh, Honeymoon Suite, New Girl Now. Great song if you haven't heard New Girl Now.
How does that go? Sing that to me.
You don't
Let's
really
sing
know New
these
Girl
songs
Now?
back because I don't know. It's like the FMKs. You got to tell me who they are.
Michelle, do you want to sing it? It goes, it's a hard song to sing.
What's it
I got
called?
a new girl now, and she's not like you. What is it?
I got a
She's a
new
lot
girl.
like you. You would know it if you heard it.
It sounds like I'm already singing it.
Yeah, it's good. You know it. You might not have known it was them, but
All
it's
right.
good.
Okay.
Now, Tiffany was a last second addition, and Tiffany and I texted yesterday because we're going to spend some time
Do
hanging
you call
out.
her Tiff? Do you go, yo, Tiff? This is J Man. Do you say like that? Yo.
You know what I do with friends like you who have weird names? I usually just say, hey.
Yeah, you
Although,
just
no,
forget
I don't
that.
know. I call you Wednesday. I don't.
Mhm.
I don't give you nicknames like some of your friends. I call
Oh
you
man,
Wednesday.
I got so many fucking nicknames. It's dumb, and I respond to all of them.
Mhm.
It's
But I like Tiffany a lot, and she's going to be hosting a cupcake decorating class. It doesn't get better than that.
that's
And
awesome.
she sings. I think we're alone now, and she also
I'm very
sings.
familiar with Tiffany. I was a big fan, still a big fan. She's like a little Wilma Flintstone to me.
She was also Judy Jetson in the Jetsons movie. Did you know that?
Well, I'll be damned.
Mhm. She's also, and I don't think she would mind me saying, she's got a great set of jugs, which she shows in Playboy magazine.
You know, I heard someone next to me at a restaurant tell the waitress that she had some nice jugs yesterday, and I thought that was very inappropriate.
How did
Uh,
it go over?
not too good. Not too good. Uh,
How are her jugs?
I tell my lady I don't ever look. I don't ever when I talk to women I only see from here up. Unfortunately, like my current video, I only seen those ladies from. I only look at their neck up. I can't look down. I'm just so in love.
So you're saying they were good jugs. Okay. Now, after Tiffany, uh, Faster Pussycat, we talked about Faster Pussycat, a thing called Tapow. I can't remember their song. Naked Eyes. I don't remember their song. And the rest of this
With my
bullshit are
naked eye, that song.
I don't think so. I think that's the
No.
band. But the
No.
rest of these
No.
bands are cover bands. The hosts are Mark Goodman and Alan Hunter, and downtown Julie Brown. Um, the one thing I'll say about this cruise is it's a lot of fun. It's 8 days of fun, a lot of cool stops. The bands hang out with you. The Royal Caribbean cruises are great. I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to go back. And a lot of these guys are friends of mine: Warrant, Faster Pussycat, Firehouse, and I don't know, some of the Tiffany.
You
So
know,
I'm looking forward to.
Firehouse is from North Carolina. They're like, they're one of the. They're. I like to consider myself in the top 10 of North Carolina's exports. You got
Top 10. Can name the 8 others?
well, you got Firehouse, the rap group Jodeci, Ric Flair.
Well, he's not a musician, but yeah.
Well, he could. He is to me. He's music to my ears.
Hmm.
There's a bunch
Yeah.
more too, but and me, there's 4.
You should be in the North Carolina Hall of Fame.
You know what? In my little town that my dad, where we live, there's a little place called Landis. There's a little sign, and it says, every time I go home and visit, there's a sign that says, "Welcome to Landis, home of Billy Ray Barnes, NFL legend." Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
We need to
Your favorite? Yeah,
record line.
he was basic. He was in the NFL for 5 seconds and he got out, and they give him the fucking sign of my town. I want that sign. I'm gonna
We
get
should,
that sign.
if anyone is watching who lives near North Carolina, we should get on this. Let's get a commission going to
Yeah.
create a Wednesday 13 day and name the town after him. This is Jake James. Jake James, thank you so much for the super chat. It's much appreciated. And this is Rebel from the Waist Down. 13. Yeah, you guys are on a last name basis. Can't wait to see you in Cleveland. Any possibility of future dates with Manson? We get to ask this question a lot. And have you ever been on the same bill in the past? Peace. He's Wednesday's answer to this. He has. He Murder Dolls toured with Marilyn Manson, and Marilyn Manson was in a Murder Dolls video. Is there any more talk about you and Manson playing?
Uh, no. But I'm really close with his management and stuff, and they know that we are available if they should need someone for support. So I'm sure we're in the list of many people that want to be a part of it, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. I'd love to do it as much as our fans would love to see us do that.
He's just getting his feet wet too. You know,
Yeah,
Manson had to come back.
he's so good right now, and his band's really good. He's got my friend Matt, who was in my band, or people know as Piggy D, is in his band, and it's just a cool. It's good to see him because I've known him for a long time, and I went with him through this whole cancellation thing, and I was really close to that situation, and to see him out of that now and just back on his game, it's
Great
crazy.
record. He's got a great record out. I recommend it.
It's cool, but no, I'm hoping as much as our fans would. I'd love to do that. We'll see if the stars line up. I'm sure it'll happen. We played with him in Australia. He's in the Murder Dolls. There's a history there, So and we're friends. I mean, we so yeah, we'll see.
It could happen. If you got a day named after you in North Carolina, it'd probably be happen more.
Yeah, let's give me something. Give me something.
Who is singing for Warrant? The guy's name is Robert Mason. He's been on the show. He was in the band Lynch Mob for a while. He's a great singer, and he does a great job of honoring the music of Janie Lane.
I've never met that guy. I want to talk to him. I want to see his microphone stand. He's got some microphone tricks, and I want to see this microphone stand. I want to see how it's built. I just want to see it. I want him to show me his Chris Angel trick with this mic stand. I need it.
He carries it.
Robert Mason. I need this. I need a microphone. I need a stand. I need to look at it. Show me.
He carries it.
Weights.
He carries it through the airport. That thing.
I'm sure it's cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm. He is very good at it. Okay.
Yeah,
feel it again.
He's a great front man. He's got a cool voice, and yeah.
Feel It Again is a song by Honeymoon Suite. It's another good one. Johnny Monaco has quit music and only sends mean texts to Carlos Cavazza. Well, that could be. Let's see. By the way, new Piercy DeMartini dates on the way. It's crazy.
I saw that.
This is a big question right here. Debbie Gibson or Tiffany?
I'm gonna have to go with Debbie Gibson.
I don't think Tiffany watches,
After I've
so
seen her on your videos and those little Daisy Dukes and no shoes on, I'm a fan.
do you have a? Are you interested in feet at all?
I have two.
Mhm.
I do find them to be attractive, but I'm not like I don't search that in my pornography searches.
Right. It's not on your Tinder that
No,
you
but
require that.
I have watched the art of it, and I'm just not really into it. But I do find feet attractive, and I can
I
also find them
wish
very hideous too. If you see the hideous ones, they're horrible.
I wish I had a foot fetish. I wish because that's so easy. I would be at the beach all day, just
Yeah,
everywhere, looking at
yeah.
feet. I would be living it up. But
There's people that do that.
I know.
There's people that do
Yes,
it.
she was Jetson. Look, I grew up on Debbie Gibson. I think Debbie Gibson had great songs. She wrote her own songs. It's pretty huge.
It's a
Tiffany
better
was
record.
famous.
Out of the Blues, a way better record than Tiffany's record.
Absolutely.
I listened to
Tiffany,
both of them with my little ears at that time, and I knew at that time Debbie Gibson was better.
yes. Tiffany was famous for two cover songs. You know, that's a tough thing. And now, as they've gotten older, and I've gotten to know Tiffany and Debbie Gibson a little bit, but Tiffany's definitely the rock and roll one. Tiffany's the one who's going to go to the bar and get drunk and get into a fight. Debbie Gibson is
Yeah.
going to go to yoga in the morning. So it
Well,
depends what you're into, but they're both awesome. And
I guess I kind of like both. I guess I kind of like fighting and yoga at the same time, which is something I'm trying to work on. It's a new art, but we'll talk about that later.
mhm. Someone asked me if I ever crossed paths with Al Goldstein in New York. I did, and I have lots of stories about it, but I don't think anybody watching knows who that is. So maybe I'll save it for another day. Tiffany and Playboy, I have that magazine. Yeah, Debbie Gibson was in
Oh,
Playboy also.
ding, ding, ding. Another North Carolina great. Gravedigger, the truck. The monster truck is from North Carolina. There you go.
That
Gravedigger,
was
Ric
huge.
Flair. Someone said Firehouse is from Richmond. Well, if they are, that may be true, but they claim Charlotte as their hometown. That's what they used to do because I was there. God damn it.
I can tell
Say it to my
you,
face.
I can tell you that they're from two different places. That's what they told me in my interview. Two of them in one place of North Carolina, two were in the other, and then they all met, I believe, in
Well,
Charlotte.
they were
And
Charlotte's bread and butter. They used to be called White Heat.
that's right.
And then they became Fire Hose, and then they became Firehouse. Fire Hose was taken,
Hmm. Anyway, let's see.
and
Yes,
Bojangles, I believe, is North Carolina. I believe.
here's a question for
What the
Wednesday
fuck is going on
13th.
outside my house? That sounds like a. What are these? Oh, okay. Sorry. Shenanigans.
Question for Wednesday 13th. This money is A money. I don't know what that means, but it's from A. Anyway, Crypt writes Wednesday 13. How did getting on the song Hell Escape come about? Your new song.
Well, well, Mister Crip, let me tell you. I was sitting at my home, and I was just minding my own businesses, and then my phone rang. I should tell like an old scholar. No, that band is opening up for us on our USA tour. Dead Rabbits is a band. It's a side project from the front guy from the band Escape the Fate. If anyone's familiar with them, they're our opening band. Their manager hit me up and said, "Hey, do you want to guest on this song?" And I thought this would be a cool way to promo the tour. Uh, and then when I heard it was being produced by Howard Benson of Bang Tango, Tough, Pretty Boy Floyd, Child's Play, Sweet FA fame, I was like, I'm there, and that's what really sold me on it. And I heard the song like twice before I got there. I really didn't do my homework, and I went in, and when I saw Howard Benson, I got nervous, and I went, "Oh fuck, I gotta do this now. I should have listened to this a little more because the girl Mixie that sang on it, she did her homework. She had notes. She knew all the words, everything, and I didn't know anything." And he goes, "All right, well, you go in there first," and put me in this little booth. And I found out later that like that booth I sang in was where Linkin Park and My Chemical Romance, all these bands that aren't in my world really, but I know they're huge bands worked, and so I'm just nervous. I'm like, man, I hope I don't fuck up on this. So they gave me the words, and I nailed it. And and my lady was in the control room, and she said when I literally just had a fear. I was like, man, I hope Howard Benson doesn't think I suck. Here's my first take. I'm just gonna belt this out. I hope I got it. And I did it. And she told me later on, she said whenever I started singing, Howard was like, whoa, this guy's voice is awesome. I can
Yeah,
work with this. And then he started
that's
going, well,
good.
do this and do this and do this. And then he had me layer all this stuff. And so it was really cool. And I nailed it. And then they were like, you're good. And I was like, I can come out now. And they were like, thank you for doing your homework. And I'm like, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, I forgot you. I made it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Benson is a legend and also was the governor's aide. Andrew Freeman is not the singer for Warrant. This is fake news. Fake news. He is not. The singer is Robert Mason. I wish Janie Lane's daughter would sing for Warrant. Would be interesting, wouldn't? I think they should have her out for a few shows, though. This is
I
Jennifer
think they should
Brothers.
get Sam from Different Strokes on vocals.
He can sing.
That
Uh,
song has
uh,
been in my head since you interviewed him. That 19 song.
oh, it's good. Yeah.
It's
Uh,
a good song. That's his voice is cool for it's good.
If you haven't seen my interview with Danny Cooksey, check it out. Jennifer Brothers, thank you for the super chat. She is bringing a Gary Coleman VHS to the Columbus show.
I'm gonna have
Wednesday's
so many
Christmas.
copies of that.
Let's
But
see.
I'm thank you. I'm excited for it. I've had several people that listen to all the words I say here. Like, I'm bringing you Gary Coleman. I'm bringing you this and this. So that's awesome. So thank you. Maybe I'll get all of them by the time I'm done because there's a lot.
There's a lot. Vlog the Janie Lane Death Hotel. Sadly, well, I don't know if it's sad, but the Janie Lane Death Hotel was a Comfort Inn, is now like a shelter for homeless families. And so there's a family living in the room that Janie Lane passed away. And otherwise, I probably would have made that video. Oh, hey, Sean Clark is here. He's here. I don't know if he wants to join us.
Get down here, Sean. I miss your
Yeah,
block.
we'll see if he's up
Block
to
it
come
up.
in. And let's see if we can. I'm behind on these comments. I was going to bring up the Monsters of Rock cruise lineup. We could see if Sean wants to comment on it.
Comment, 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 comment.
See. Sean, let us know if you're up to chat. I'm going through these things as fast as I can. There's been right now. There's 333 people watching.
330 people. That's crazy.
If
That's like a record. That's a new number since I've been on here. We don't normally get that many because I'm
if
crazy about remembering numbers.
if they all watched your video twice,
If all of you people go watch my video after the show, I would really appreciate it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Right.
Wednesday, I want to get your opinion on some of these bands that are going to be on the Monsters of Rock cruise. We'll go through this fast because there's a lot of bands. So some
I
of them
can
stink.
sing you a song from probably all of these bands.
Okay. Well, I would
All
like
right.
to see that.
All right.
Sean said half evil. I'm not sure if that means he's going to come on or not. All right, Wednesday, here we go. We're going to play. Well, unless Sean wants to join us, he could sing that tune too. Okay, hold on.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss a couple of them. I'm already looking at them.
You see, you're getting a little.
I know, I know a good bunch, a good chunk of them.
Okay.
I could just name some. I don't know if I could sing.
All right, here we go.
I'm not really gonna sing. I'm gonna sing them in my annoying voice.
First one up is a fascist car, I believe. Oh no, it's a band. Tesla.
I know. Do 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 do. I know it's Tesla. See,
That's a good one. You're not just doing hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Extreme.
Mm-hmm. He-Man woman haters. He-Man woman haters.
You might get a gig out of this.
I could do it.
Oh, I get what Sean was saying. He's saying 333 viewers is half evil. 666.
I get it. That he's a mathematician.
Yeah, he is. Well, you should see how fast he counts the percents at the end of these conventions.
Hmm.
Somebody's got to put gruel on the table. Um,
No,
okay, next up is Winger.
Winger. I like Winger. Winger. She's only 17.
Don't tell Ronnie
Oh
Radke.
man, we don't want to get in it. Let's move on to the next one. That's too close, too soon for
Yeah,
the
too
boat.
much. There's people on this boat who are no longer on this boat because of that exact issue.
We got to get off
Um,
this boat. You know, it's funny. I used to every time I get on a boat, I use this voice from Froggy. Remember Froggy from Little Rascals, the one that had the deep
mhm.
voice? And every time we get on a boat, we always go, "We got to get off this boat," and we do that. And it's funny because I just sang He-Man Woman Haters, and I just put Frog. See how just the worlds collided there?
The Rascals, yeah.
You rascal.
Next up, Michael Schenker.
You know, I don't know any Michael Schenker songs. I know one, but I don't know it. Like that, they were too old school. They were too classic looking to me. I was like, I ain't into it, so I don't know it. Can't sing it.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
going through this, I can say real quickly. Tesla, my favorite song is "Hang Tough." The bass line from "Hang Tough" is the same bass line to the
Oh,
Mountain song.
it
Um,
is. It's a good one though, and it still sounds good too.
Extreme, I like stuff on that first record, Kid Ego, things like that, better than the. I don't like More Than Words anymore.
I think there's good songs on the second one too. But they're both are good, and there's good songs on the third one too.
Get the Funk Out on the second one, and then on the
Mhm.
third one, I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Nuno is
Winger,
another level. He's like Eddie Van Halen, another level. How that guy plays,
he's
it makes no
he's
sense. It makes no
damn
sense.
good, yeah. And then as far as a terrible basketball player, though, he broke his leg or whatever
I
last time he was
heard.
on the cruise. Yeah, I was there. And okay, Winger, my favorite songs are Easy Come, Easy Go. And I like Headed for a Heartbreak because the outro solo, drums and guitar is just insane. And watching it live, I've seen it live a lot. It's just incredible. Very talented band. I will go on the record here, maybe offend people, but Winger's probably the most talented band on this boat.
Probably they're like the Dream Theater of hair metal.
Yeah,
They could do that.
I'm not sure people know just how good they are. Okay, Michael Schenker. So I always knew Michael Schenker was a legend, and he was also in RATT for a little while, which is crazy,
I did
replacing
not
Robin
know
Frost.
that.
Yeah, and he's on the acoustic unplugged RATT on MTV. But
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I said I am going to go watch. I'm going to go watch Michael Schenker on the cruise, and all the cool people were there watching him. We went to see Adrian Vandenberg and Michael Schenker because we knew they were rare, and so
People
I went
love
with
that
Audie.
guy.
He's great. I went with Audie Desbro one day, who's a drummer for Great White. I'm name dropping. Eddie Trunk told me that's how you run a show. And anyway, we went to watch Michael Schenker, and I realized how great Michael Schenker is and how great the UFO songs are. Got an incredible song called Doctor Doctor. If you haven't heard UFO Doctor Doctor, listen to it. Another great song called Rock Bottom, Lights Out in London. There's a lot of great songs. I'm not that familiar with the Michael Schenker group, which is who is going to be performing. Robin McCauley um, will be there. Okay, Crocus. I know almost nothing about Crocus.
No, but I ran into the Crocus Monument just walking to McDonald's in in Switzerland. I looked to my right and went, "Oh shit! Look at that!
That's
Here lies
incredible.
Crocus."
Amazing. I think they have a song called Screaming in the Night.
You know what I remember the most about Crocus is my brother had his porno stash, and I used to go find it, and he had a Crocus Headhunter CD that set on top of it. And every time I had to get into his porno stash, I had to put that Crocus CD perfectly right
Right back
back so
on it.
he wouldn't know that I was fucking around. And
That's why he put it there. The Crocus CD was like kryptonite to keep you away. And if you
yeah,
moved
exactly. I was
it
like,
in
man,
the
this
wrong
record sucks, but I got to get in here to see what Ginger Lynn's doing in issue 78.
of Beaver
A
Tail.
beaver hunt.
Yeah, we were um, such a serious highbrow show. 338, by the way, it went up.
Hey,
A little Beaver talk goes
speaking
that
of
way.
beaver hunting, go watch my video.
Yes,
There is
a lot of Beaver.
there is
Uh,
well, there is
now, I don't know how they put the order of these things. Should Crocus be over Stephen Piercy of Rat? I don't know.
I mean, no, absolutely not.
It
But
seems crazy. And
yeah,
I'm going to get back to the questions and comments, but I want to get through this lineup really fast.
I'm not going to sing all these songs, but we'll
Do
go
you
through
have
the
a
basics.
favorite Rat song?
You're in love. I love the guitar riff more than necessarily the song. That riff is just cool.
It's
When you hear it,
incredible.
you're like, yes, yes. You start looking around, people are with you. You're like, yes, who's with me?
Probably, I'm so excited to see Warren DeMartini play. It could be crazy.
Oh,
Um,
people are
but
going to foam at the pants when he does it. I know it.
it's probably the first song about golden showers you're in love. Okay, next up is Night Ranger. You want to name one?
Sister Christian,
Mhm.
Don't Tell Me You Love Me. Is that Night Ranger?
Yep.
That's a good one too.
You can
Because you think
still
about
rock.
that song. One day I was on the treadmill and I was like on that last mile, and that song came on. I started thinking about the lyrics, and I've never really thought about the lyrics. And I went, man, this is a serious thing. He's like saying, hey, don't tell me you love me, because I don't want to know that. Like, don't tell me. I don't need to hear that. Shut your face is what he's saying. And I got through that mile. So thank you, Night Ranger.
They also have a song called "You Can Still Rock in America
Oh,
If you're rich and white." That's in
That
parentheses.
is a good get on your jet ski at Myrtle Beach white boy song.
Yeah, I was thinking, or a Klan rally in North Carolina, but okay,
All right, well,
similar.
you know what? They have them.
Mhm. Next up is La Guns.
Laguns,
La Guns.
Laguns.
Do you have a favorite La Guns song?
It would be something off the first two records, which I think are great because they remind me of really cool times in my life. Rip and Tear's great. Uh, I don't know that I have a favorite. Maybe One More Reason to Die. That was a cool one. That video was cool because it was banned. And Tracy Gunn spit blood on that car and played a guitar solo. That's pretty good.
You can't really go wrong with that first record. Show No Mercy is great. Second record's good too, but Long Time Dead. Never Enough might be their biggest single, but
Never Enough is
it's
their best song. Well, there
a
you
great
go. Sorry.
song.
Great
Uh,
song.
yeah, and so
Malaria is a cool song too. I didn't like it really at the time, but it's
like no
kind of a
one.
cool, weird song. The intro is just weird and cool.
Malaria is very contagious. I get it.
Yeah,
And
it
then
is. It is. I
uh,
refer to it all the time whenever I get sick. I go, man, I think I got malaria.
I say whooping cough. Queensryche. Any?
Uh, I've never been a fan of Queensryche. I saw an interview where Jeff Tate said this in an interview. I never really cared for him because I used to get picked on by people wearing Queensryche shirts when I was wearing my Enough's Enough shirt. They would be like,
Mhm.
they would use the F word and the Q word, and so I never cared for them. But I remember him doing an interview, and he was like, because he had that voice where he talks like this, Jeff Tate, and he's like, there's some questionable acts out there singing songs about questionable acts. I mean, who's protecting the children? And when he said that, I'm like, I'm officially out. I already didn't like it. Uh, who protecting the children? Who are you? Get
He's
out of
in.
here.
Sounds like he's in Falling in Reverse. To be honest.
Sounds like he's got his pants on too. There's little gym shorts he had on during that. Remember he had that little head mic. He looked like he was hosting like a gym class.
A TED Talk, yeah. Um, I think that there's some good songs on those first records, Rage for Order. There's some heavy stuff, Queen of the Reich. It's not my favorite, to be honest. I think the Operation Mindcrime record is a
Operation Minecraft. That's another one to get on people's nerves. Just do that at a checkout at a grocery store. Whew.
we got to get you on this cruise. We could have so much fun. But they also, I like the one song, Another Rainy Night with Jew. You?
That's a good song. And Jet City Woman is pretty good too.
Mhm. Okay, I don't know anything about Pretty Maids. You?
No, I got lost in the shuffle on. There was Pretty Maids. There was a couple bands I got. There was another Pretty something that I not
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
Boy Floyd, not Pretty
Boy
Boy
Floyd.
Floyd, but
Yeah. Should Pretty Maids be over Michael Monroe? I don't get it.
Everybody on this cruise is going to be under Michael Monroe after he plays. Is in my that is the truth. Whether you want to know it or not, he is the greatest live performer that you'll see on that boat. God damn it!
There's a lot of young people who are, they've heard the legend of Michael Monroe. They've probably never seen him play. He hasn't played in America very often.
It is next level. It is like going. It's like watching Jerry Lee Lewis get on the fucking piano and do like it's. I promise you, and I've seen it every single night. I saw Hanoi Rocks do it. I tour with Michael Monroe. I've been really lucky. I'm bummed I'm missing this tour that he's doing, but I saw so many shows, and it was every night the dude brought it.
He
I mean,
doesn't get old. He
no,
does not get old.
he changed the way I became a better frontman after touring with him.
Yeah. Um, so he'll be there. Unfortunately, Sammy Yaffa was not able to be there. Todd Kearns, who I managed for a while, will be there. Next up is Vixen. You want to sing a Vixen song real quick?
Vixen had it. I believe in the edge of a broken heart. I don't know the words, but I just did it,
You and I could do a whole show where it's like Dumb and Dumber. We go, you want to hear something really annoying?
Dude,
We just
I do
sing.
these voices all day, and I'm glad I could do this for 300 and how many people we got here?
42.
342.
I also like to sing.
That note at the very end is that's the one that I get her with.
Yeah, I
He's
also
like,
like to sing in an obnoxious falsetto around the house, as someone here can testify.
it's
Um,
just funny to me. I was in here by myself doing the Sheryl Crow song in different keys,
mhm.
and I was laughing so hard earlier. She was like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Go to
you just don't
work. Get
understand.
out of here."
You think they would know that we're screwing with them by now, but no,
They
they
don't
fall
know.
for it every time. Uh, okay, Slaughter,
Oh, Slaughter's got a bunch of. He's got the high voice.
really high.
24 hours a day. There's your blahs there on those pump pump.
I I do. I like to sing a song of theirs called "Desperately," which goes, "You never say what's up." That's my that's my favorite of the
We're
Slaughter.
false. This is episode falsetto.
Yeah,
Falsetto
Slaughter's
rocks.
the king. I mean, I don't know unless they add Nitro to the bill. Mark
Oh
Slaughter is pretty
man.
crazy.
Whew.
Okay, let's see. What else? Look. He probably regrets singing so high when he was young
No, he
because now he's
doesn't
got.
sound the same anymore. He was still good, but he doesn't sound like. I mean, he's not hitting he's not hitting the notes. The 24
That's right.
hours a day. That he's not doing that anymore.
No. I'm mad about
Ah,
you.
ah. Then what you do to get that note, just even if you hit the note right, just take it a little lower, make it worse. Ah, 24 hours a day. And that's where you get annoying, and then you start driving people crazy. Just try it at home, folks.
It's
Annoy your
very
loved one. You'll
strange.
thank me later.
It's very strange that Slaughter will be playing there, but Blas Elias will be playing with Stephen Pearcy. Uh,
Very weird.
Next up is Vandenberg. Vandenberg only has one song that anyone knows. Do you know it?
Is it a White Snake song?
Well, there's those for sure. He played the solo on "Here I Go Again,"
But
but no,
what is his? I heard it recently. I went, oh, I know that song.
it's called "Burning Heart."
It's a burning heart.
Not that one. That one's much
Not
better
that
though,
one.
and
Oh,
I
that's
knew
the
you would
best
think that
burning heart
too.
song.
That is "Survivor," the one you're singing.
Okay,
Okay, let's see. Faster Pussycat. I think we already sang some Faster Pussycat.
we did. We know that. He doesn't go high because he kept it cool.
No, he's cool. He's a cool cat, as they say.
He is.
Wigwam, I don't know much about. I think they're foreign. Um,
Mm-mm.
Lynch Mob, I think that's the band,
Oh,
not what they're going to do.
I got that wicked. High falsetto. All this.
Yeah,
Man, I remember when that album cover came out, everyone was like, "Oh man, I got to buy this cassette just because the cover looked cool." And I
yeah.
remember getting through this. I remember fast forward and going, "All right, where's the good songs at?" River of Love's good. Wicked Sensation's good. Where's the next one? Flip this. I just didn't hear anything else.
They play a lot of Dawkins songs. Next is Eclipse, which is not a Journey cover band. It's also a bunch of foreigners, not Lou Gramm
I toured
foreigners.
with those guys on the Glam Fest. They're actually really good.
Well,
Really
speaking of
good.
people you toured with, Hardcore Superstar.
They're very good too.
I don't know why you're not on this boat if they are, but okay. Next up,
I got to get on this boat next year.
Aldo Nova.
Oh man, one of the best intros to an album ever in my brain will never is the intro to Fantasy. Just I remember hearing that as a little kid. My brother put it on a vinyl and sitting in front, and he had it cranked so loud it shook the trailer. And I thought something was really happening. I thought a helicopter was over the trailer. So that will always been burned in my memory, and it still sounds awesome. So
yeah, that was one of those artists where I didn't even know it was him. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was Old Enough, but I always knew that song. It's a huge.
it sounds like an old car from Ford. Here's the old Aldo Nova from Ford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ford
I think you're right. He also had a song called "Blood on the Bricks" with Bon Jovi.
Blood on the bricks. Blood on the bricks. I remember that one.
Rose Tattoo. I can't think of the name. Can you think of the Rose Tattoo song?
No, but that's that little dude from Mad Max 3 you told me about.
Yeah, Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Oh, Guns N' Roses, "Reckless Life." That's a Rose Tattoo song, I think.
Which one?
I think "Reckless Life." I think it's that one.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's one of the Guns N' Roses songs that's on Live Like a Suicide.
Right.
Okay. Some people are saying this will be Lynch Mob's show. They're saying it. Most people tell me that's bullshit. That they will continue. Scooter Weed is here. Hello, Scooter. How's the weed? Angie says she's had enough. She's got to crash. Angry Anderson.
Bye,
Hey, my interview with Angry Anderson was so bad I never put it out. I'm just sitting on it. That's how bad it was.
Keep sitting on it.
Yeah, I keep sitting on it. As Fonzie said, sit on it.
Sit on it. Hey.
We got to get through these.
That's a lot of bands.
Do you know any Taiketo songs?
I never liked Taiketo. Maybe I need to give them another chance. They kind of, I don't know. They didn't look the look I had when I was looking for my bands. For some reason, I go, they didn't look cool, but I liked the band, like that band Juliet. If you remember what they looked like, it looked exactly like them. But I'm like, no, Juliet's way cooler looking than these guys.
If you
wrong with me.
Look, if you want to sing some songs, I can tie this in for us. The drummer.
I don't know any Taiketo songs.
No, this is better. The drummer for Taiketo is Johnny D of Brittany Fox, and that's why we should sing some Brittany Fox.
Oh man, what we got? Brittany Fox. You got save the weed with a little love that's all the need. I remember hearing that song when I was a little kid. Even just thinking, I went, man, this song sucks. This is worse. This is way worse than When the Children Cry, or they're trying to make this. It was so bad. Even then, I knew. I bet you they tried to write this.
They were a little bit of a poor man's Cinderella, and also one of the guys.
I even know the words of that song. Children starving and lonely, no place to go. And then at the very end, Dizzy Dean goes, I really feel that there's hope. And you're like, oh, I believe it. Lift me up to the heavens, Dean Davidson.
What about Lonely? That was a big one.
Oh, Long Way. That's a good song. I like me some Brittany Fox. That record's produced good. Johnny D's awesome drummer.
Right, a good guy too.
He was good then. He's just as good now.
Okay, I don't know what the answer is. Chris Holmes is the king. You could sing a little Wasp for us.
I won't though. I won't sing the stuff I can actually do good, but I sing the stuff out.
No fun.
Yeah.
If you want to hear Wednesday sing Wasp, go online and listen to it because he does it.
That's right. Streaming services. Hear my version of Animal. IF. like a beast with
with the
Alexi
late
Laiho from Children of
Alexi
Bodom.
Laiho. Yeah,
It's such a
great
good. It's
version.
a really good version. We should have put that out as the first single. I'm thinking back on stuff. I'm like, you dummy, you idiot. I feel like that guy on Boogie Nights when he's sitting in his car. He's like,
Mhm.
fucking idiot,
Idiot.
idiot, fucking idiot.
Okay, Cruel Intentions is one of those foreign
Stevie's
bands.
band. I know those guys, or the one guy, or maybe it's two of them that was in Stevie's other.
Veins of
It was
Jenna.
Veins of Jenna. Yes, toured with
Yeah.
them.
I liked it. By the way, I'm being I'm joking about a lot of this, but I enjoy being on the boat and going to check out the bands I don't know that well. I will go watch some of these
There's a bunch of
foreign
good
acts.
stuff here. All the good stuff's at the bottom.
Yeah. This is a Rhino Bucket. Now,
Rhino
for those who
Bucket's
don't
awesome.
know,
I don't know
Rhino
any songs by them, but they always sound. They sound like Rhino Bucket.
well, the guitar player for Rhino Bucket is Brian Forsyth of Kix, and so
Oh,
maybe we can
okay.
sing a Kix song as a tribute.
Uh, there's what's their good ballad?
Don't close your eyes.
Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes.
Mhm.
I don't know what
Someone's
key
gonna
that was.
someone's gonna edit this together.
I don't know. It's
Someone's gonna
crazy.
edit this together. Wednesday sings the glam hits.
No, don't give them. Don't encourage them. It'll be out
Now,
tomorrow.
uh, uh, um, and then Hurricane, which is a great band. The only member is the bass player, but Carlos Cavazo of Quiet Riot will be performing with Hurricane. And can you sing some Hurricane?
Na 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 na. I'm on to you.
Good
Can't you
song,
see
and
how hard I try to keep you satisfied?
that song's great. And they have one other one. What's the other one?
I don't really remember. I know that one, but they had a record that had Doug Aldrich on it that I remember liking. Was really good. Was better than all the other ones they had. I don't remember what it was, but I had it at a moment in time.
Somebody in the comments remind. We got a super chat I got to get to, but someone remind me the other one. There's I'm on to you, and God, there's
My
one
my
other
my
Hurricane.
first big opening national act was opening for Kicks. I don't know if you
Really?
knew that. I don't know if you knew
I
that.
had no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. And I remember giving the front guy, is it Steve Whitman? Is that his name? Whiteman? How do you say
Whiteman,
his
yeah.
name? I gave him my cassette of my band Maniac Spider Trash, and we had a song called Motherfucker, which ended up becoming Motherfucker I Don't Care, Murder Dolls. And I remember him looking at it and he goes, Motherfucker, you can't have a song called Motherfucker. You just can't do it. He goes, well, I guess you can. You're not signed.
He
And
can
I
be a
went,
little bit of a dick. I hate to say that because I
yeah.
know so many people say that he's great, and also people say that they're the greatest live band of all time. I don't see any of that. Uh,
I thought they were good, and he's a good front man. I remember
yeah,
just telling me like, you can't get a record deal with a song like that. And I'm like, he's right. I can't get a record deal like this.
yeah. Well, but now
But
you're
whatever.
Mister. Now you're Mister Motherfucker, and he's sitting at
Yeah.
home, sitting around, staring at the ceiling.
By the
Uh,
way, I'm changing that handle on Instagram.
I think it's a good idea. Steve Whiteman
I'm
told you.
well, well, I'm trying to change it, but every time I try to change it to something, it's already taken. I'm like, how can I not even get my own fucking name?
Mhm.
Ugh,
Uh,
so frustrating.
anyway, the song is called "Over the Edge." That's their other one. It's a great song.
Over the edge, think I'm going down. Over the edge. Is that it? Going
Yep.
down, down, down. Is that the way it ends? I think.
Yeah.
Man,
Sean
I got a
Clark.
hair metal brain.
Sean Clark saw Hurricane, Warrant, and Striper at Irvine Meadows. That's a great bill. I wish I was there.
Damn, that's
If I had a
crazy.
DeLorean, I would go back. Okay, let me finish through these bands so that we can get to these super chats. Shiraz Lane is a foreign band that I saw and I thought they were very good. And I think in some ways they stole the cruise. I had the singers and Hannes.
They better
Hannes.
give it back. They shouldn't steal.
That's true. I don't. What country are they from? Finland. Finland. That's where the
Yes,
rock is. That's,
Finland. There's a lot of rockers there. It's like they
yeah,
breed Sweden and Finland. They breed rock bands. It's
I
like
agree.
they come out looking like David Lee Roth. It's insane.
The only problem I had with the Shiraz Lane is when I interviewed the guy, I kept saying, "Man, you guys have the spirit of hair metal." And it's like, "Warrant, you're bringing it back," and then he would go, oh no, we have very serious songs. And I go, oh Jesus, this guy's crazy.
Did you
And I
tell
kept
him
going,
that
I know,
Uncle
but
Tom's Cabin is a very serious song and he better get his shit together?
well, that's true.
'Cause that's what I would have said. I'm sorry, but I can't do this interview anymore, Chaz.
Did you know that? Did you know that Jenny Lane's brother played that song? He played the that part, the banjo.
That's a great song.
Good song, yeah, great
Man,
song.
fuck the
Okay,
haters, man. Fuck them.
I don't know what a Jared James Nichols is, and I don't need to. I don't know what a massive.
He's a killer guitar player. He's probably
Oh,
worth the watch. I would geek out watching him. He's good.
all right. Well, I'm going then. You
He's
sold me
good.
on it. What about a
He's good.
massive wagons? You know that?
No, you know what? When I hear that, it sounds like dog food to me, like Chuck Wagon, like the Gravy
Yeah.
Train. I see the
You know
little
what
train
else
running.
is? Speaking of massive, Evic Stewart. That's the drummer for Faster Pussycat, Chad Stewart. I'm not going to watch that. And then Ted Poley. That's a good one for you to sing a few
Oh
bars.
yeah, fucking oh, I remember their song Bang Bang, what's that sound? You give me my love and you shut. That's them, right?
That's them. You picked the deeper of the two because the
I
other
remember
one
the
was
other one too. Cause there ain't no business like monkey business. That was
that's the
another one
second
too.
record. But you didn't even
Mhm.
sing their hit yet.
Naughty, naughty.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I mean, that was. I'm going to lose my monetization because you sang it so exact. They're going to think I stole it.
Well,
I don't know what Wild Street
just
is.
as God made me, sir.
I don't like any duos. Soto, Beeler, Hoekstra, Gibbs.
You know
I
what?
could
But
care
Jason
less.
Bieler is a killer guitar player, and I love Saigon Kick. So I'll
He's
say that.
well. Then sing a Saigon Kick song for us.
Oh man, how much time you got, fella?
Sing the hit.
Uh, oh, you got the hit was Lonely Sidewalks, Silent Night. There you go. I'm not going to get into it. That's a deep song, but
Love
that
is on.
stretch guitar on that, the guitar players, you know what I'm talking about. That's hard to play.
Love is on the way.
Uh,
Listen, Jason was on this show. He's a nice guy. When you're on these cruises, you're busy. I don't like anything acoustic. You know what I mean? That's not for me. Um, Liliac, that's a bunch of kids that from Transylvania. No joke.
what?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't see
sing
them
like
when I was
Dios.
there. I must be lying.
They sing like Dio songs, and I think they sleep in caskets underneath the boat.
Huh.
Burning Witches.
They got a deal then.
Burning Witches is a bunch of screaming Cookie Monster hot chicks. Courtney
Mm,
Cox is in the band on guitar, and that's the
okay.
Burning Witches. Speaking of Courtney Cox, her former band, the Iron Maidens, are going to be there, and a bunch of other bullshit, and a bunch of hosts where none of them are as interesting as me.
No, rest of this isn't even worth talking about.
Sean Brown.
Sisters Doll is a cool band from Australia we toured with. They're pretty good. They're worth watching.
All right, you heard it all from Wednesday. Sean Brown with the super chat. Are there any considerations by the promoter for the younger population, such as me, who are incredibly open-minded about metal but have trouble finding? Sean, this is a long question. I mean, I'm a
This question is like a word problem. But go
yeah,
ahead.
I got to take a breath in between.
All
There's a
right,
lot.
go ahead.
And
Let me
Sean, how
process
old
it.
are you that you're so young? I thought you were. All right, Sean, let me read this again. And you're one of the most generous people who watches this show. So let me really grasp it. And Wednesday, pay attention. There's going to be a quiz. Are there any considerations by the promoter for the younger population,
Holy
such
shit.
as me, Sean Brown, who are incredibly open-minded about metal, but may have trouble finding others to enjoy a cruise? This show has been awesome as always. All right, Wednesday, what the fuck did Sean say?
I really don't even know. I was hoping you'd tell me because I don't know how to answer that. But I
I got
did
to.
notice that, not to get off subject, I have a little whistle in my nose that will not go away. It's permanent, and I'm like that little whistle that Jim Carrey had on Me, Myself, and Irene. It's just like a. You hear it?
Yeah,
It won't go away. It's
Wednesday's whistle. Well, son of a bitch.
what the fuck. But
Um,
anyway, I don't know how
we
to answer
can't.
this question because I don't understand it. Are there any considerations by the promoter? Promoter of what?
Yeah, I
I'm
think he
sorry. Maybe
means.
rephrase your question, Sean.
I think he means the promoter of the cruise I put my glasses on to help read.
Oh, there, that makes more sense. Look at that.
Uh,
Look at that.
so he's saying that some people, I think, okay, I'm going to take a stab at this. I'm ready to rule. I think he's saying, how do you get somebody to go on the boat who doesn't like metal as much? This guy's open-minded. So let's say you want to
Okay.
bring your broad with you,
You're
and maybe
broad.
your broad's
Right.
into the Backstreet Boys. Maybe your broad's into Hanson. I don't know.
Maybe your
But
broad really likes Hanson a lot.
we think alike. Um, I know a broad who really likes Michael Monroe, so she's set. But for the rest of the world, the cruise is fun, and what they do is they have different stops in different ports, so you get to go to the Bahamas, and I think that's part of it. If you just want to sit by the pool, you can do that. If you want to see bands, and it's really fun to see bands that you don't know. The best part about the cruise is going to check out acts that you only know a little bit, and then you might be blown away by how great it is in discovering music. And so I think it's fun, and I just don't. It's not just about the bands. I'm going on the '80s cruise more for the experience. I'm going to Puerto Rico. I'm going to Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. I don't have to watch bands all day and all night. And I listen, maybe I'm going to be the biggest Curtis Blow fan, excuse me, in the world. You don't know.
You might meet
Sean,
Panama Jack. That'd be
Sean,
crazy cool.
I hope we answer that. And oh, hold on. So he asked the question before that. That was his follow up. No wonder we didn't get it.
Man, we need to read faster. God,
All
forgive
right.
us, Sean Brown.
Here's the first question. So
All right.
rewind. You better put your glasses. I can't find my other glasses. Is there any criteria to how these bands are selected by the promoter? Now I'm getting what he's throwing. I think they put the names out of a hat. For the younger population, such as me, who loves metal and rock, are there any considerations? I'm incredibly open-minded, but I'm out of my element.
He's basically
Doctor?
saying, is there any consideration for Wednesday 13 to get on this boat? Because
Yeah.
without me, he's probably not going to get on the boat. And I feel with you because I'm not getting on it either unless they invite me. So I guess we're in the same boat on that one, but not actually on the boat. Metaphor.
Some of the criteria is that Faster Pussycat's been on every single one. They're the late night kind of party band. Listen, the audience is mostly '80s hair metal. I know Eddie Trunk doesn't like when you say that, but that's the kind of the big drive. And so they pick a lot of bands. Is there something in the comments I'm missing?
I'm just laughing.
Sean, I'm hoping we answered your question. I mean, they try to. There's only so many of these bands left. They have a major announcement for next year that I can't say. And listen, I missed Jake James's question, and he said, "When in Sacramento next month, you should check out Forest Hill Bridge off Interstate 80. It's about 30 minutes away. It's 740 feet tall. You can hike underneath along the river. It's a great spot." Video for Jason. By the way, I thought he was talking to Wednesday. Am I going to Sacramento?
I'm playing in Sacramento. I am, but if I have time to go do this, it sounds pretty good. I like to go on my walks.
I think he's saying that I should come see you in Sacramento, which I would love to do, and then I can make a video while I'm there. I am doing my best to go to a Wednesday show. Going to do my best. I want to. I'm a fan of all things Wednesday 13, and because I appear on the new Wednesday 13 record, When the Devil Commands, I had to look down to read the title. That's the single. It's called
No apologies. No apologies. Line. No apologies.
Mid-Death Crisis. I got it. He's only said it 4,000 times. Because I appear on that record, I think that your fans would like to see me out and about. I will be at the merch table signing copies. I don't think it's available.
It will be April 25th at the King of Clubs in Columbus.
It could happen.
You can come there, get an autograph copy, meet me, meet the band. We're setting up a cool thing for the CD release. Hopefully it'll be something cool we can do a little different. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Yes, but anyway, I'm good. You will see me at Wednesday concerts, and I like to think of myself as a fat old version of Wednesday. So I'll be there. Does he mean it's all older people? He might. It is not all older people. There's a lot of people who go on those cruises of all ages. And in fact, the 80s cruise is that one, they liked it to be 21 and over because everyone's drinking. Drinking is free with that cruise. But Monsters of Rock, there's people of all ages. And thankfully, young people are getting turned on to this music.
It's the same
Nosferatu,
thing as the conventions. It's not just old people there to see the old stuff. It's young kids seeing that era they missed. So it's
Wednesday,
lots.
we have a celebrity here, Nosferatu 1922, not the new
Oh,
bullshit. This is
Nosferatu, the Nos.
they're setting you up for a sing along here. Do you like the band Halloween?
What was their song?
I Want Out.
I want out to live my life. I want out.
Mm,
Had the echo on it too.
mhm. Love it. And while you're at it, Green Eyed Girl would like to hear a little bit of stand up and shout if you're so inclined.
Yeah, and then you got the what was it? I used to know the one that he sings in the studio that they don't like.
God, that's
I'm on fire. Whatever that one is,
mhm,
I love me
yeah.
some Steel Dragon.
Mhm. Let's not forget the greatest Steel Dragon impersonator is Blas Elias, because he was in the band Blood Pollution, and
We
he
all
will
die
be.
young. What a good song. That's right. He is.
California Dreaming is in the market for a rich man who could pay for her to go on the 80s cruise and Monsters of Rock. And there might be a rich man watching. Sean Brown might, maybe you guys could match. This would be a great match show. One day we should do a show where we set people up with each other.
We should do like a dating game.
Mhm.
I don't know how
Chris
fun
can't
that.
wait.
That probably wouldn't be fun. Actually, thinking about it. Let's not. Let's do something else.
No, but I think we could match up other people. It doesn't have to be us. I wanted to do a Heather Leather dating game. She agreed to do it, and now she's dating that Faster Pussycat guy. I mean, Jesus, what
Well,
talk about ruining the show?
way to go.
Yeah, she had to think about her own personal life and not this show. It's bullshit. Maybe Janie
Mhm.
Lane's daughter would be happy to come on here and meet somebody. Uh, California Dreaming is looking forward to meeting everyone at the King of Clubs show. She's already got her meet and greet. So say hello to her. She's a fantastic person. Let's see. This is a good statement. Without MTV, I wouldn't know these bands. New generations never saw the MTV hair metal. Well, they do watch them. I'll tell you that. They watch them on YouTube or Classic, and
I was watching
they're
a hair metal playlist today that had a bunch of good stuff. It had arcade on it. It had that's the bass tone on that song. I'm sure he hears that a lot. That on that song, on that Nothing to Lose song. It's
gonna
really
lose.
good.
We
Yeah.
used to have that in the Stevens set. You know, people sometimes say, I want more arcade, I want solo. There's so many RATT hits. And I can't say too much, but Warren and Steven are working on set lists right now. And
Hmm.
it's hard because what do you take out when you have so many songs that fans are expecting to hear? Kathy, with the super chat, I feel like I should pay a cover charge for the show. That's very sweet. One time, I was at the Orleans Arena for a charity event. I'm backstage. It sounds like Eddie Trunk already. And I'm with Kip Winger. And Kip goes, you got to go out into the hallway with me. It's a basketball, like a locker room. And I go, why? And he goes, I don't want to see Gene Simmons by myself. And I'm like, okay, to me, this sounds amazing. So we go out and Gene's talking to us. And he told me, Gene wanted me to change my name. So of course I bring it up. Did you tell Kip he should change his name? And he went, And he said, and then Kip goes, you told me Kip Winger sounds like a member of the Mickey Mouse Club, little Kippy Winger. And then Gene goes, I wasn't wrong. And Gene starts telling us about all these things and he's giving us advice. And at one point he goes, now this is Kiss Sushi. If you're in Japan, you could try this. And me and Kip are standing there while he's lecturing. And I go, I feel like we should be paying you for this. And he goes, you should probably be paying me for something. And so that's how I feel about people who want to pay a cover. Thank you very much, Kathy. It's very sweet of you. Let's see. now Sean wants to apologize. Sean, there's no need to apologize. But he says, I love 80s music, but I think my question got misconstrued. Sean, your
No, well,
question
this
made
question was
for,
probably good. We don't know how to process
we're
things.
misconstrued.
We're misconstrued, not you.
A long time ago, I wanted to be a screenwriter. I worked for the company called Troma. Sean likes when I tell these stories. And I was writing a screenplay, Romeo
He
and Juliet,
does.
and I couldn't afford a lawyer. So I told Troma, I'll just use your lawyer. Now, listen, now that I have a permanent counsel near me, I know never use the company's lawyer that you're going to work for. But I said, I don't even know what misconstrued means. And they told me signing this contract means you have nothing, no rights, nothing. No one should sign this contract unless you really want to write a movie. And I did. Okay, so he's saying, I meant, are there other bands that may be 80s influence that are on those cruises? Sean, I'm even more confused. I mean, I think they're all 80s influenced.
I
I
mean, like
read through the
Hardcore
name.
Superstar, they're definitely influenced, but they're probably newer to some people if they don't know. You know, they're not a new band, but we were actually I was talking to them about it. Like we both get considered. We're still called new bands. We've been doing this for over 20 years.
Yes, that's true. I'm trying to put up as many of these as I can. I shared my photo with Michelle Trachtenberg today on my Instagram. I shared that photo because, unlike Wednesday, I only have 40 subscribers to my YouTube or whatever you call it. Instagram, JSIN_green. So I don't have a curse word in my name. Maybe that's why I'm not as popular. But I shared my photo with Michelle Trachtenberg. I went to an event called Something for Kids. Don't tell Ronnie Radke. But it was like caring for kids. It was an event for charity, and you went, and it was all for charity. And the Olsen twins were there too. And I do remember the Olsen twins walking up the stairs, and they had skirts on. And I remember I closed my eyes because I got a glimpse of an Olsen twin. And
Did you close your eyes forever? See, there you go.
yes. And anyway, I met Michelle Trachtenberg. She was a lovely young lady. And she was in a movie called, at the time, Harriet the Spy that she was promoting. And listen, I took pictures with people that I thought would be big stars. She ended up being on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, and she was in a movie called Eurotrip, and she's great in it. And there's a famous scene where she flashes to get a car to stop. You see it from the back, not the front. But I
Okay, I didn't
imagine,
realize that was her. I think I saw that on Pluto recently.
the planet.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I was
and I
actually I was on Pluto recently.
And I imagine that's better than Uranus. I imagine, though, that she was that had an amazing rack. She was a beautiful young woman, and unfortunately passed away today at 39 years old. It's too young. At first, they said she died of natural causes. Who the hell at 39 dies of natural causes? It came out later.
Abraham Lincoln.
I don't know if that was natural. He took a bullet to his brain.
Yeah, but he took it naturally though on that day that it happened. Just remember that. His reaction was natural.
True. A bullet to the brain, by the way, is a Wednesday 13 lyric. That's why I shared
A bullet to your head.
Oh, it's head. It's not brain.
A bullet to your head is how I want it. Your body on the floor, a Kodak moment. That's the line.
I gotta go back. Yeah.
People don't even know. Like that doesn't even make sense. Is there even a Kodak moment? Is that their catchphrase? Is there film anymore? Can you buy it? What's going on?
I wrote a line on my record about a girl who's a loose, and I said she's got pussy pics on speed dial. But who has speed dial? I don't think anyone even knows what speed dial is.
Yeah.
But it rolled off the tongue, as if you will. Michelle Trachtenberg, it turns out, had a liver transplant, and it was having complications due. I'm not going to speculate on what her health was before, but anyway, it's sad. And then yesterday, I also posted a picture of me and Roberta Flack, and I had to sing "Killing Him Softly" to Michelle last night. She was thrilled. She doesn't know what a Fuji is. Can you believe that? Michelle does not know who the Fugees are.
Fugees, man.
who were
Fuji's and
famous.
Funyuns. That's two of my favorite things from that time. Fuji's and Funyuns. Can't get enough of it.
People are dying left and right. In my next tour diary, the next one that comes out, actually my 2 away, we
Mhm.
find out we're eating at a Portillo's in Chicago, the Stephen Piercy band, and we find out, we get a phone call that Jack Russell passed. And I
Uh-huh.
ask everybody to say a few words and pour one out for their fallen homie. It's an interesting moment.
Did you pour pancake syrup out?
I, sh- I probably should have.
You could
David
have.
would like to hear me do Dana Strum talking to Gene Simmons, spelled like the actress, not the demon, and Sebastian Bach. Well, Dana Strum and Gene Simmons are my same stuffy white guy impression. Dana Strum will tell you, if you're going to fly, it's better to have some status than no status. Blas Elias knows. He's king of the wild frontier. And then Gene Simmons is a similar version.
Right.
As Craig Gass has taught me, with Gene
Mhm.
Simmons, it's actually an impression of Benjamin Netanyahu. This is Benjamin Netanyahu, of course. And then
Okay.
Sebastian Bach hurts my throat if I do it. But
You mean it's a savage animal, man? Come on, Ted, Scott Ian, Biohazard. Come on, man. Savage fucking animal. Man,
savage animal.
I
Yeah,
recently watched that. He could not be more annoying on that show. It is bad. It is so bad. Uh,
it's rough.
whew, whew.
Sebastian is going to be on that cruise, by the way, displaying his father's artwork. Sebastian's
Oh,
dad, David Birk, he painted the Skid Row covers, the second and third. But I would be like Eddie Trunk if I dropped more names and refer to them in a
you
cute
know,
nickname.
I love that album, but I've always been like, man, that could have been a better album cover. Go
The
back to
third
the
one?
alley. Take a picture in the alley where we want to see you. We don't want to see this awesome painting. We want to see Skid Row, bro.
I tend to agree, but I got to be careful because I'm going to see him on the boat, and he might be angry,
It's a
and I don't
great
want to be,
painting. Yeah.
and I don't want to be complacent. You know, there's a thing now. If you know about something and you don't say it, you're being complacent, and you'll get canceled. And there's people out there, and I don't want that to happen. Wednesday, there's still 321 people watching. We're almost at 2 hours.
What if
Um,
my album cover was like an old, like English album cover or something, like some old history book thing? It wouldn't be fun, right? That's kind of what
well,
Skid Row's album cover was like to me. I was like, it didn't look like a. It was weird. As much as I love that record, I never liked that cover as much.
No comment. Wednesday,
Weird.
broken scene clips. Would like you to share a favorite story about Alexei Laiho. Could you do that?
Yes, at the Mad Monster party here in Burbank, he was visiting with his girlfriend, and he came to the show, and we judged a beauty contest at Mad Monster. It was like a part of Mad Monster in cahoots with Monster Palooza, and that was a lot of fun. We were both drinking, so I don't really remember much of it, but it was a good thing. He hit me up right before he passed away, and he wanted, believe it or not, just kind of ties in with RATT. He wanted to do a cover of "Loving You's a Dirty Job" and wanted me to sing lead vocals on it with his band he was doing at the time. I think called Bodum After Midnight. Um, so, uh, but yeah, he passed shortly
Very,
after that. So
very sad. Yeah, it would have been great if you sang it. Sean makes a good point. The morals don't take a picture of me, but Sean is right up there with me. I feel like on Instagram, me and Sean are the Grim Reapers. It's like you look at our
yeah,
posts.
you guys have a photo with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, what's so great is that before Sean and I even knew each other, we were in the same places, meeting the same people because that's something that we were, we had such a common interest. The three of us have those common interests. Now, I want to show the gift that Horror Chick sent me. People send gifts all the time, and it's appreciated. But a lot of times, I get things that I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Horror Chick sent me uh, the Family Queen Truckster Christmas ornament. Right now, I collect these. I have a lot of them, but this one is from 2013. It's actually pretty valuable, and I did not have this one, and I feel like I should show it to everyone without damaging it. I mean, it's crazy that she was able to get this, and that she would spend the dough on me. This is the family queen truckster. There's Aunt Edna on top.
That's
Just
cool. I
just for
never
the
seen it with
record,
Aunt Edna.
I have a photo with Aunt Edna. That's a story for another day. But supposedly this thing plays music. Maybe not anymore.
Does it play
Maybe
Holiday
it's
Road? It
better.
had to play Holiday Road, I would believe.
Yeah, it played Holiday Road. I'm going to give this to the mechanic department and see if we can't get that fixed. I think you're going to need a screwdriver, which is way above my pay grade. She also sent me a pack of Halloween trading cards from Fright-Rags. And this is pretty cool because I'm so into these. You know, Wednesday, you had such a great collection of what we call wax packs. And when we grew up, we would go to the store and buy wax packs. And
Someone gave me this recently. I don't know what this is. Is
I
that
remember those, and I see a lot of people collecting those. There's 4 different covers of horror trading cards from Topps, and
you can feel the gum in it still right there.
yes, and so I've decided that I want to go into buying full boxes of these things. It's not cheap. This is not a poor man's sport. But I used to go to a thing called the Optimo, which was a cigar stand in New York, and they made egg creams, and they sold dirty magazines, and they sold.
I love dirty magazines.
Me too.
God, I loved them.
And they would have trading cards, and you would go in and buy a pack of Three's Company cards, or buy a pack of Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Kiss, and anyway, she sent me this one, and now I'm so going to go down the rabbit hole. This one actually comes in a wax pack protector. Did you know they make protectors for these things?
Now I do.
This is Good Times trading cards. These things aren't cheap. When I opened it, I said, "Damn, damn, damn!"
Yeah.
Much like your mother said when she found out you were arrested for drinking and driving.
That's so funny.
The gum is still in there, and if you send in enough of these wrappers, you can get a gold-plated initial ring. Wow, ahead of its time. But I don't think that today's youths, will understand the feeling of ripping open a wax pack. And I saw people doing it.
This was entertainment. This was a big deal.
It has a smell to it. Maybe it's the rotten gum and wax.
We should have an episode where we all open up an old pack and eat the gum, and that be our eating taste thing.
I don't know about the gum because there's a guy who does videos where he opens wax packs, and sometimes the gum is stuck to the card. It's gonna be brutal. You got to remember, this pack of cards, and it's in great shape. This pack of cards is from 1975. This is 49 years old.
That's older than me.
Yes, and. Yeah, but I wanted to get some of these cards, and then we can open a pack. You know, some of them aren't that expensive. I did a great video with Slaughter opening the rock packs, but maybe we should do this. I'm trying to, but I wanted to thank her. Oh, here's David R. Sean's probably relieved that he didn't come on today because this is a marathon. David R. This is mostly for entertainment value, but also partly for some singing lessons for you and Wednesday. Maybe Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy. Well, I remember
Didn't that guy get busted for being a fake?
I think he might have.
I think he did.
I studied the Jim Gillette cassettes. I had them.
I had it. I know it. I know that.
And then you'd have to do
the next one.
You would have to do the and then break a glass.
Yeah, all that stuff. It was so not what I wanted when I got that cassette. I'm like, this sucks. But at the very end, it goes, after you've done this method a couple times, you'll be able to do this. Check this out. It's like, and he's like, yeah. And it was just nothing, just screaming, and just faded out. It was great.
I remember it well. I told him that I took it, and he said, "And how did you do?" And I basically told him it's bullshit. And
I
I hope he
mean,
doesn't kill me.
yeah, I didn't. It doesn't work for me. It probably works for people that really know how to sing. I just know how to do what I do, and it works.
Wednesday, I'd like to point out that Travis Spalding just ordered some merch from your site, and he can't wait to be rocking the new hat and shirt. And I want to
Thank you.
point out we're
Thank you.
going to do another auction with Wednesday. We're going to have to do it when he returns. We'll have to do because I'm leaving, and there's one with Scott Ian coming up too, and I got to call Sean and make that happen. But Scott's going to do a really fun auction as well. It's represented by Sean Clark. If you don't know Sean Clark, I don't know how it's possible, but he is Malfunction on YouTube, and he has some great videos, and he's got new content. He said he's still watching. He's still here. I should have just sent him the link, but I didn't want to.
Sean is the best on location video people. There's people that try to do it on YouTube. They don't do it as good as Sean. That's my plug. Boom.
Sean
Boom.
is also the most thorough. One of the things that I think we both like about Sean is he's very serious about the things he likes. And
That's why
Sean
he's the
won't go
best
out and
on
make a
he's
half.
the best at it. He's very
He won't
thorough.
make
He
a
makes
half-ass
sure.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he sees that somebody else did it, and then he won't. Sean really is a completist, and he goes and finds locations that other people haven't, and he'll fight with people while he's doing it, which is great.
We should
Watch the
find
Halloween
out where that building is at the end of Runaway when Tom Selleck is in that little elevator and he has to fight for his life to get down with the robot spiders. Where is that building? Where is that location?
Yes, well, Sean probably knows, and Sean and Scott Ian, good Mr. Bungle conversation. Scott Ian said that he has some rare signed Mr. Bungle posters, and as Sean knows his stuff, Sean is agreeing with the compliments. It's all true. I want to get one of those bricks that Sean has. He has Silver Shamrock bricks. There's a website. I want one with the building from the movie, and because I'm collecting bricks and floors and rocks. This is a piece of the Surf Ballroom dance floor from 1948. This is where Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and Big Bopper played their last show. And I now own a piece of the floor. And I will say this, and I wasn't going to publicly say it, but I'm punch drunk. The Oklahoma Canes Ballroom, where Sid Vicious and the Sex Pistols played one of their last shows, I own a piece of that stage. I can't say how I got it. I can't say where I got it, but I got it. Sean said he's watching from that location right now. Well, he's on the rooftop. Wednesday wants to come along. By the way,
Watch out for the spiders. He's programmed with poison, Ramsey.
Speaking of Wednesday's new record, for those of you who still collect records, I am wearing my "I Want My Daddy's Records" shirt today, which, if anyone knows, was the greatest episode.
I was wondering what that shirt was the whole time. I thought it was the Ramones, and I thought it was something else. And at first, I thought it was the logo for Spam. The
it
food.
does look like that, yeah.
The food. I love Spam.
There is an episode of Sanford and Son. The Great Red Fox lived a stone's throw from my house, and he's also buried very close as well. But the episode is called Blind Mellow Jelly, and they get a collection of Blind Mellow Jelly records, and they donate them to a library. But they find out that the Blind Mellow Jelly records are worth a lot of money. So what they do is they say that Bubba is Blind Mellow Jelly's son. And they train him to go in, and he says, "Don't say anything other than, 'I want my daddy's records back. I want my daddy's records.'" And it's an amazing a moment. Hey, look at this. Sean Clark. I listened to the new record and liked it. Was afraid I wouldn't. Let me tell you something about Sean Clark. That is a real testimonial because he would not lie to you.
Good. Well, thank you, Sean.
If he didn't like it, he would say what I do. Nice. Good job.
Oh, good. And that way you ain't got to pretend like you like it. That's good.
Wednesday, it does help. I have friends who make shitty records, and then I don't know what to do. So in this case,
it's good. Well, thank you. That's good. That's a good. I mean, that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. So that is an endorsement. Jason, you need to come to the defense of Sean Brown. He's being bullied by the people in the chat. Is he? Let me ask the chat police: is there bullying going on?
Was he the one who's asking the question? I think people were just confused. It's not.
Well, Sean is a
There's no. There's
Sean
no
Brown is
bullying here.
great. Sean Brown is great, and he's very generous. And oh, I never meant to take grief from it. Let me defend Sean Brown. If you guys chase off the most generous person on this show, I will never chat again. And by the way, we have 13 super chats. That's got to be good for something.
That means something.
Yeah, we are against bullying, and I'll tell you something right now. For any of you folks who are bullying right now, I am going to turn you over to Ronnie Radke, and he's going to set your ass straight. You don't want that. You'll get kicked off the cruise. He'll do it. I've seen it. No comment, right, Wednesday?
It happened.
It happens. Anyway, well, we've had such
bullies suck. I got. Did you ever get bullied? Did you ever have a crazy bully thing? Like, I mean, like, did you have like? I mean, I got picked on by like just little things, but like I had like a full like bully situation going on for like a few weeks where it was bad, man. My mom would drop me off at school, and I would literally wave at her and see her get to the corner
and run,
and I would go and hide on one of the empty school buses and wait for and that's the longest wait skipping school when you're just sitting somewhere in a closet but I was because these dudes were beating me up every day. They were like pulling my underwear over my head, slapping me and punching me all in my ribs and stuff. They wouldn't slap you in the face where you could be seen or you couldn't have marks. So they would just destroy you and just hit you as hard as they could. And I hid from people. So fuck bullies is what I say.
I am with you 100%. And I think that it's a good message to young people that bullying shouldn't be tolerated anymore. When me and you were young, you and I, fake bullies got away with it.
It was like My Bodyguard, the movie. We needed a hot. That was a real. It was a different situation there. Schools it's like prison. I will say it again. Take your kids out of school, everybody. It's prison.
We needed Adam Baldwin, not Alec Baldwin. Adam Baldwin. Although Alec Baldwin's pretty good with a gun.
He's the best.
But I think nowadays, and Lorraine says it best. Where are these bullies now? You're a rock star. Absolutely.
Yep. Most of my bullies are in jail that I know of, which is awesome.
I went to school in Harlem. I was one of very few white kids in that school, and I will tell you, there were times on the subway. It wasn't really bullying; it was worse. But I would get picked on because I was white. You know, it'd be one thing if someone mugged me for money. Well, they would want to just beat the hell out of whitey. And let me tell you something: the day they showed Roots in class wasn't a good day for me. They showed Roots, and then on another day they show. And by the way, Roots is terrible because Mr. Brady and Mr. Drummond are made to look like bigots. It's terrible. And then after that, they showed Malcolm X videos, but they would never show you that Malcolm X turned his life around and got killed because of it. They would just show you saying the stuff where he says he got to kill the whitey.
They didn't show us those. They didn't show us any of those movies at all. Where I'm from.
No, you were the opposite.
Not at all.
You were the opposite.
Yeah.
Suzanne mentions Mean Girls. We can't forget Mean Girls out there too. There's Mean Girls might be worse than some bullies. But I think nowadays, you go to a Comic-Con and you will realize that the nerds have won. We've won.
Yeah, we won. We won. But you know what? Again, when I bitch about that stuff and complain about it, it made me who I am. But yeah, it sucked. I remember that stuff. So
yeah, sorry to hear that, Blake. And for all the people, it's funny how many people were the victims of these bullies who definitely never went on to do anything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds, 100%. It's now cool to like movies and toys and comic books and cartoons. All the shit that we got picked on, it is what it is. And we went on to a tangent. But anyway, I hope, Sean Brown, please show yourself. If you feel bullied, we're going to send Sean Clark to people's houses to look at this, by the way. Sean Clark picked a favorite track. His favorite track might be my least favorite track, which shows you that we're all in different mindset. Do you want to guess it?
No, what is it? I can't read.
Well, that's because you were bullied.
What?
Decapitation.
That's going to be the hit of the record. I'm telling you, fans are going to love that one because it's so fucking stupid and it's quick, and you're like, did he really just say that? It's a good one. Thank you. I agree.
My favorite tracks, or if I was Wednesday, my favorite is
Mhm,
I like a song called "My Funeral." I like
mhm.
really depressing songs about life being so miserable you just want to die. I always
Yeah,
like that. I'm a
but
sucker.
it's done in such a fun spirit.
Oh, it's happy. No, no,
It's
it's you're
happy.
looking forward to it. You're looking
Yeah, I
forward to the
forgot
funeral.
what is the lyrics of that song. I forgot what it is. My funeral, my funeral. Let me read this. So what you this is what you quote as being good. Here we go. My funeral. I've got a mind to end it any time, but I'm waiting for my day to come. I'm too bored to slit my wrist. Now that wouldn't be any fun. See how I read that
Very
all
good
sophisticated?
passages. When
It's pretty good.
Wednesday reads passages from his. Yeah.
There you go.
Uh,
With glasses.
I like that one a lot. I think the No Apologies is great, not just because Tammy's on. I just think it's a great song. And the Xan Ecstasy, another one I
Mhm.
liked. There's one other one I really like. I like them all, but there's
The
another
next
one
single is the song "In Misery," which
oh, that
is
one's good too. I like that one
yeah.
too.
I think that one's that's the one that I think my diehard fans are gonna be like, this should have been your first single, and maybe it should have been, but who knows? There's no rules. You're getting them all. They're all good, and I like them all. So have fun with them.
Nowadays, there's really no rules. Song comes
No,
out. If you didn't like that, or was it the next one grabs you, whatever, something is going to grab you, and you're going to realize that. And if you're a Wednesday fan, he doesn't disappoint. I like that if you're a Murder Dolls fan, because the Decapitation could easily be a Murder Dolls song too. I think if you're a
yeah,
fan, you're going to get what you came for. Paul Stanley once said, "Did you get what you came for?" On the farewell tour, he kept saying it. Did you get what you came
I
for?
like when Paul Stanley was being interviewed and asked about some song, and he goes, "I remember I wrote that song on my couch in Brooklyn." Just always think about that. And then he was
Mhm.
talking. I think he was on Tom Snyder, and they asked him how he came up with that look, and he said, "I always imagine myself riding a stallion overlooking the Long Island Expressway." They
That's
cut
and
that out later in the Kiss DVD that they put out. They cut out him saying that stuff because he didn't
mhm.
look as cool as he thought.
I think your Paul Stanley impression might be my favorite.
Well,
Is Stevie Rochelle here? Is Stevie watching? Because somebody's asking him a question. Whatever happened to Jorge DeSaint, also known as George? I don't know. I didn't see Stevie, but if he's here, you saw him? No, no one sees him. Uh, but anyway, I'll forward the message to him. He's not a big fan
here's a
of.
question: why did George DeSaint have a Pepsi guitar? Why didn't he have a Coca Cola? Why didn't he have a Crystal Pepsi?
I
These are the
prefer
questions.
Coca Cola.
You know, what made him do Pepsi? Was there a deal? Was he really like Pepsi? I've never asked this question.
I can't read this person's name. It's too many words next to each
I
other.
can read it. Archer the Screecher bird.
Is that it? Right? Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. Archer the secretary bird.
Archer, your
Six.
name is like a goddamn eye chart.
It
But
is. It is. it is. It totally is.
uh,
A
he
R.
he says I had to give a speech in public speaking class, and I made it about Wednesday and how he inspired me to be myself. So thank you, Wednesday. Very cool.
Thank you. Sorry, I can't say your name correctly, but I'm trying. Archer the
While this is a
secretary bird. Somewhere.
while
I'm
this is
closer than I was.
while this is a love fest, I will say, and I've said this before, that I think people relate to you Wednesday because you don't hide behind an act. You admit that you're just as nerdy as everyone watching as well.
I can't hide it.
So, music to slit wrists by. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Michael Lean, he does own a deli, and you can go in there and you can order pastrami lean. Wednesday and went and met him.
Yeah, he's still good. He's still. I don't know how that guy must just. I don't know. He's the rock and roll gods are on his side.
We should go to that deli. We
Let's
should go.
do
If
it.
you're not, we'll see what you could eat.
I will eat something there, even if it's tough.
Right. That's true. You get tough, or you get a tough
Yeah.
piece of pastrami. You
Yeah.
know,
I want a tough muffin.
I made a commitment to myself about a year ago that I was going to lose weight for this cruise. I'm as fat as ever, and there's nothing I can do about it. Uh, I'm going to go and I'm going to just embrace it. I'm not going to take my shirt off. That I'm not going to do, but I will be there on these cruises, and I'm going to, when I come home, I'll lose some weight. I went to a doctor yesterday, a new doctor. Michelle and I share a doctor now. It's an interesting thing. And I'm just hoping they don't tell me I have syphilis or something. I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to pull that off? But I can tell you, I am clear of herpes, gonorrhea, HIV. I got none of it,
Good.
nothing.
That's really good to know. That's
Yeah,
good.
and so that was.
Clean slate. Clean slate.
But I know there's a lot of people who are anti-science here. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going on these cruises. I stocked up on every medicine you could think of. Wednesday, you would not take all this medicine that I got.
I love medicine.
I got it all. I will be snorting Paxlovid like it's going out of style if I have to. But I am prepared to survive this day. Now, let's see how he's doing. Sean says, I'm at 2 weeks of my diet going strong. I miss bread.
Oh,
I also believe that you should
good
get rid of
job,
bread.
though. Good
Get rid of
job.
bread. It's no good. Good job, Sean. And then the other day, I went to this place called Grimaldi's and I ate a whole pizza.
You know what? I've been eating a lot of pork lately. I've switched from my chicken to this from my local barbecue place. I've been doing that in my my air fryer lately. So that's
Well,
been
pork is the other white meat.
yeah. But
All right, and a lot of
that's it.
washy.
The end. Yeah, why
Wednesday,
doesn't Michaeline have a tough muffin?
Wednesday, sometimes I lay in my bed and I think of miscellaneous things to talk about, mostly stupid things. And then I thought to myself, first I thought, oh my God, I got to make sure Mark Torgel knows to show up at the convention. And then I realized the convention's in 2 months.
Right.
I don't know how Sean does it. He's got a whole army of that. What is it? 4 months? 4 months? Oh, jeez.
What's
You know
4
how many people are
months?
going to be? I'll be sharing pictures of so many dead people by then. But I was thinking, why doesn't Wednesday just have his own cruise? And then I thought to myself, maybe we could make Wednesday so popular. Now,
I'd love it.
Wednesday, hear me out. They don't completely sell cruises sometimes. They have allotted groups. So we could say we need 100 spots for the Wednesday 13 cruise. There'll be other people on there, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
have our own section and all these things. And
Let's do
we'll
it.
get massive kickbacks.
Set it up.
And I think we could be onto something, and we'll hire the other bands to do it, right? So bands that you like, that are similar to
Mm-hmm.
you, and I think it could be a major thing. The Wednesday 13 cruise, you'll have to come up with some clever thing about
We
dying
could
or
come up.
sinking.
Yeah, I could come up with a good cruise title. Cruise from the Crypt. Something. We'll
You
do it.
guys, you guys heard it here first. Start thinking about it. If you guys want to set sail with Wednesday, it could
But to get my
happen.
own cruise, I got to sell out this tour. So get tickets for my tour.
Well, that's true.
Berkeley,
First of all,
California. Buy some tickets for my show. No one's buying tickets for that show. March 16th, Berkeley, California. San Francisco-ish area. Get tickets.
yeah, I think we got to make sure that's clear. If you want to see him on a cruise, you got to see him domestic before you see him.
They're not going to put me on a cruise if I can't sell out these places. So don't do walk up. Don't wait the day up. Buy tickets before, please.
And buy an extra ticket while you're at it. It
Just
doesn't
if you're not
matter.
even coming to the show, just go to this venue, go on their website, and buy 5 tickets. Just do it. Just like feel like you're feeding a little hungry kid, except that
You
little
could
hungry
gift. You
kid
could
is me.
you could gift to somebody else too. If you're
Yeah.
watching, go support Wednesday so he can keep coming back,
Mm-hmm.
and let's show people the power of this broadcast. Now, Wednesday's album called Mid-Death Crisis comes out on April 25th. He's got it right there in his hands, and you're going to have it on April 25th. The tour begins March 14th, and we got to support. So go out and buy some tickets. Now, if someone says they're going to be at San Diego Brick by Brick, I may be there as well. But I might
Yeah.
be the special guest that night. We'll see what happens. Oh,
Hmm.
Sean Brown's here. Thank goodness. Because I was serious. If you guys bullied Sean Brown away, I would have come over and there would have been serious repercussions. Sean says, thank you for being nice. I'll try again next week. The chat is hard to navigate, and I've been through some recent health scares. I'm a journalism major, so I need to be on my game. Well, Sean, you've watched my episode about journalism and my time with Geraldo. You know. So anyway, you're all good, and we like to have some fun around here. We don't want to have a bunch of tightwads, as they say. Uh, Maybe this could happen at some point. You should play it right now and give us fans a sneak peek. I don't think he can do that because he's on a record label. But maybe someday we could give a peek of something. I don't know. He's already
Yeah,
showing you a record. I think that's something. And a
yeah.
lot of love for Sean Brown. And
Maybe
yes,
maybe we can sneak the song before it comes out next. The new song's out on the 18th, so maybe we can sneak it the day before, whatever day that song. I don't even know
yeah.
what day the 18th is.
If everyone will keep it to themselves and not
Yep.
tell anyone else, I think maybe Wednesday can offer a sneak. I have to figure out how I can join this live show from Puerto Rico and from the Dominican Republic and Miami. I'm going to do a show from Miami, and I'm hoping Sean can join us, Sean Clark, if he's and Sean Brown if they're around. And a lot of things. I'm going to be out for 15 days, but I will have access to this new thing called the internet, and it's going to be fantastic. So get out there and support. Still over 300 people watching, and it's been 2.5 hours.
Woo,
Uh,
woo.
Hard to believe. April 25th, Mid-Death Crisis. New
Mm-hmm.
single drops, as the kids say, on the 18th. The single, When the Devil Commands, is on the YouTube right now. In fact, when this ends, go watch it. That's a
Yeah,
great
go
way to
watch it because
celebrate.
every view counts.
Yeah. After yeah. I wish voting worked like that. But
I
so
know.
after this, you guys just go tune into the video and celebrate that we had such a good time. Wednesday, anything else you want to add?
That's it. Just thank you everybody for listening. That's literally my best debut of a video I've had in a week. We've had, I mean, I think for the show it was like right at 84,000 views. So go watch it and go listen to the song. All that stuff counts. My listeners on Spotify went from 58,000 last week to 174,000 this week. So
It's
uh,
working.
it's working. So it literally, I know it sounds dumb when I say watch this, and like it's not like why do you care if you watch it? People actually look at that stuff and go, how many views did this video get? And they go, well, this guy got 1,000 views. No, the same way when I do interviews, I told my my publicist, make sure the podcast I do at least get what we do here, or I'm not going to do it.
Yes, well, thank
You
you. I
know,
agree
it's
with that.
so it's
I
just
gave
either way. I'm not saying that it's just it helps with numbers, and if you see someone that has 5 views versus 5 million, you're going to be like, whoa, there's something going on there. So help me out. It's just literally just watching, and it's a good video. It's
for the
not. It's not.
price
Yeah,
for the price of a cup of coffee, you can help Young Wednesday make more records, and that's
I
what we
know.
all want. Horror Chick, thank you so much. She says she thinks I look better with some weight. To be honest, very handsome. Well, thank you, Horror Chick, and Horror Chick,
Michelle.
and Michelle's going to have to go get me some Good Times cards now.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. Anyway, listen, we've had a good old time, and everyone is happy. And Tim's got his ticket. I'm just clicking on anything now. Uh, Brian watched the video. Go ahead and watch it again. Somebody just said they had a ticket for the whiskey. Tim shared it. He's got his ticket for the whiskey. He'll be there. And this is
And for
Wandering
anybody asking,
California.
I'm playing a little best of Murder Doll set. So if you missed us on the last tour and get to see those songs, I'm working like a little mini set into our set, so you'll at least get a good handful of Murder Doll songs. So yeah, check it out.
Sounds good. We'll be back. You got to subscribe to the channel to find out when we'll be back. Hit the notifications because it's going to be a different schedule now. Going to try to do shows before Wednesday hits the road. We're going to see what Sean's schedule is. Malfunction Sean, he's all over traveling as well. I'm going to try to make some shows that he's doing. So just subscribe, ring the bell. I never say that ring the bell thing because it's stupid, but I think it works, and you want to know when we're going to be on. All right.
Mhm.
That's it. It's been 2.5 hours of pure fun. I'll see you guys again very soon, and we thank you all for watching. Good night.
Just wanna waste some time with you.